PALcast episode 4-ish. We took a break last week just because we had other things going on.
We were very busy.
Yeah. But no, welcome back, Ethan. You were at Sunshine Coast.
Yes, I was in Cooroy, which, for those of you who don't know where that is, myself still included, it's the tiniest town, kind of just like 20 minutes away from Noosa or something like that. It's the weirdest mix of like, you expect around every corner people to be driving like horses and carriages and everything like that. And then everyone's just got an iPhone and they're all driving like Beamers and shit. And you're like, what?
Yeah, why are you
I'm
living
at a
here?
beach. Yeah, like you go to civilization. You clearly need it.
So, without giving too much of our personal location away, and for international viewers, if there is of any, we are in obviously Australia, but this is kind of northeastern Australia.
Yeah, we're in the great southeast of Queensland.
The fucking great
southeast.
Yeah. Ernie Dingo.
Ernie Dingo.
Ernie fucking Dingo.
Just so we don't date ourselves or anything like that. Or,
We know who Ernie Dingo is. Do you?
So yeah, we're just gonna have a pretty chill cast this week. We're not talking about any event in particular. Last week, Ed and I just kind of did a bit of a reminiscence episode, if you will. It was kind of just like what games we played when we were younger.
Nice.
What influenced us to be the gamers that we are and stuff like that. So, seeing as you weren't here last week, and what sort of games did you play growing up? What was the first game you remember? That sort of stuff. Talk us through the biography of your gaming childhood.
Tell us about Ethan. We want to know about Ethan.
And how does that make you feel?
Okay, well, first game I ever remember playing was on the Nintendo Entertainment System, you know, the one with the little hooded cover and everything like that?
Yep.
And playing the Asterix video game that was also on, I believe, the Sega Mega Drive, I'm pretty sure, as well as Donkey Kong Jr. and Super Jumpman, which later became Mario. And then I think gaming really started to become memorable for me in a very fateful Christmas around 96, 98, when we got a Nintendo 64.
Yes.
One Christmas, and that was amazing. I remember playing Yoshi's Story was so great at the time. I was like, wow, this is unreal. And
that game used to make me so sad. Do you remember how sad?
Yeah.
I actually
won't be needing this anymore.
Yeah, I used to love Yoshi. Is one of my favorite characters out of any IP possible. And every time you'd die and you'd lose that Yoshi, and they were taken away.
Oh man!
I remember actually crying at that many times.
Same with Apes Odyssey. I remember playing that and being like, no, this is way too creepy. I'm not playing this.
We actually talked about that last week.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Fun little bit of continuity.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yep.
See, when I answered this question last week, my earliest games were Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. Now, you being a couple of years older than me, that makes sense. While you played a few different games, but
no, I remember playing that. That was on Nintendo Entertainment. That was just the first game. That I played and stuff, and then
where did you play that? Because I don't remember ever playing.
Oh jeez, I'm pretty sure that was when we lived in before Mountain View. Yeah.
So I don't remember gaming before Mountain View.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, so I think that was just before that, or just as we moved. So this is when we first kind of just got to Australia, because Arent and I are both Canadian. So we'd kind of just gotten to Australia, and it was either at Emmett's as well, or... Yeah, and because we inherited that from him, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is that where we fucking got it?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Oh, right, because...
Sorry, just 2 seconds. I'm just turning this fan off because I might come up in the background of the podcast.
No worries. Now we have a door.
The magic of editing.
But anyway, so we inherited that from... Because we're just sitting at our aunt's uncle's place, and I, being the young gamer that I am, was like... That's a game system I can have. What is it? Where does it come from? Do you need it? And they're like, no, we don't want it. And Mum was like, saves a few bucks.
Yeah.
Can I have this? And they're like, yeah, for sure. So you and me snapped that up, and that's where we started playing Duck Hunt and Super Mario Bros. And everything. That we got it from there. So I think we might have been living at Mountain View by that point. maybe
just before. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got that. Then. Yeah, I think one of the biggest gaming memories for me was getting the 64, and then especially for me playing Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, because that came out in 1998 from memory. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so I was 8 at that time. I must have played it when I was maybe a little bit older, maybe like 10 or 11 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But that game at that time, and obviously so many people agree with me because so many people still think it's the best game.
They
of all
keep
time.
making it. People
Yeah.
keep buying it.
Yeah, exactly.
It must be okay.
But no, just the way they combined cinematography, the graphics, what they had at the time. Looking back on it now, you're like, oh, good lord, what are these polygons doing? But the graphics at the time, the cinematography, the music especially, and how much of an important part that was for the storyline as a whole. And Link in the whole, especially Ocarina of Time, but the whole Legend of Zelda thing from then really stuck with me. And I always thought, if I'm half as brave as Link or whatever throughout my life, then I've done pretty alright.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's cool.
And we had that conversation last week about the first game you can remember making you go oh,
yeah,
oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Being the younger sibling in my family by a long way, I watched a lot of video games growing up.
Nice.
So my first moment of stepping in with the controller and being came a bit later. That was around the PS2 era, as we were talking about last week. But it sounds like you jumped into Ocarina and you just kind of looked around and gone,
well, because the
so
thing about Ocarina of Time, and arguably a lot of Legend of Zelda games, they all really give you a sense of that. What is this area? What am I doing here? What's my thing? A few of the later ones are a bit railroady. It's oh, get this item and then you'll use it on this boss and be able to do these things and woohoo, you did it. But yeah, Ocarina of Time, at least for me anyways, I was a little bit younger at the time, but just the amount of stuff you could do, finding all the secret things you could do with each item, that was my first instance of side quests as well, where there was stuff you could do in a game that didn't really have an impact on the end of the game in one way or another, but if you finished it, you got a cool item of it, you got a cool little story.
the Skulltula family.
Yeah, exactly.
That.
The Skulltula family, the Bigoron sword.
That made me want to turn the game off, and I did.
What?
The Skulltula family.
Oh,
yeah, they're
faces
fucking,
and stuff.
yeah.
100%.
Full fucking Cronenberg on that.
Yeah. Same when it's just okay, guess what? You have to do the well now. Be a kid. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go down there because it's haunted.
Yeah, exactly.
No thanks.
It really, going on kind of what you're saying, created your first sense of adventure in a game, discovering a world. Previously to that, our game experience, I feel at least, was a more traditional arcade where it's how far could we get or how many points could we get or something like this. But this was the first universe that you really wanted to discover.
Absolutely. And what made me fall in love with story in games as well, where it's I much prefer a single player game. Might not be the best graphically, but if it's got a really engaging and gripping story and, a world, a digital world that draws me in like that. Am I saying
exactly what
we spent? Yeah. We had a 45-minute conversation on this last week.
Yeah.
Well, sick. Hey, guys, guess what? I'm the same as everybody else.
I think we'll get more onto it later, but there's popular game theory that there are I think it was 3 types of gamers. There's people that play to see a game, there's people that play to beat a game, and there's people that play to be the best.
Hello, that's
Hi,
me.
Yeah,
I think we've got one of each type in this room.
Yeah, a good healthy,
I was bits of, I like beating games. I like 100%, what I mean by beating games, I was I like 100% completing. Yeah, but I also like exploring and getting lost and if it's a good enough world though,
We kind of touched on that because the game I said that really made me go wow was Banjo Kazooie for me.
Absolutely.
And why I don't personally like collectathons as much is I will collect everything in a fucking game if a universe makes me want to do that,
Mm-hmm.
I adore the palette and the feel and the style of Banjo Kazooie.
It's so nice seeing a bright game again now that everything's gotten so muddy lately.
Well, yeah, actually, funny you should say that. Ed came in as I was playing a bit of Nier Automata, and he's like, it's refreshing to see a game with, like, bright colours and stuff like that. Wasn't so much when you saw me playing, it was a lot of greys and browns, but I had recently transitioned into a desert area, so it was quite bright. So the dark, very neutral palettes of the colours, the characters really kind of popped out and stuff like that.
Hang on, you went to a desert and it got more colourful.
I would say so.
That's bizarre.
Well, not more colourful.
It got brighter.
It got, yeah, because
colourful's a bit of a stretch.
where I was playing when you first saw it, was very industrial.
Yeah,
and, like, there was a lot of browns with a lot of the black of the characters' colour palettes, and it kind of seemed a bit muddled, and I was missing a lot of items. It was like, you missed that, just because it was kind of all meshing.
There was a lot happening though. Like, it's a hell of a game.
It's a hell of a game.
It sets mood really well, because from what you're describing, it uses the dark colours to kind of close you in a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
To close you in a bit. And then when I came in, Aaron was in this desert, and it was just desert.
Expanse.
It was all...
Okay,
the screen was pretty much like white from top to bottom.
Wow.
And it's more of this like, well, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
Like, we're it
feel.
for now.
Okay, cool.
It's isolation kind of feeling.
But yeah, I guess kind of diving into what we've been playing this week. For me, it's I've been dipping my toes into a lot of betas that have been coming out, a lot of good games have been coming out. It's the season of games at the moment, so expect that to be a common theme. But I picked up... I've been playing Nier, which I've never been a big fan of science fiction at all in any sort of pop culture medium, but this is the first time it's like grabbed me, and I need to know more.
Cool.
Like, it's swiftly becoming one of my games of the year, along with Divinity. Like, I fucking adore this, and
it's very smooth. Like, it's such a cool.
And as much as, like, I don't want you to be like, hey Ethan, sit and watch me play 40 hours of this game. I feel like it's a game you could watch. So
I just wish you could do a co-op. If you could do a co-op where the second player plays as the other dude, that'd be great. Yeah.
I'll look into that, because I would very much enjoy doing that. Or even just after you're done watching you play through it and seeing how... Because it seems like a type of game where you're going to have experience with it, and I want to see you have that experience. Like, it's fucking...
It's a busy story.
It's a busy story. Like, I'm just, like, slaying all these fucking monsters, and Ed goes, why are you killing them, besides the fact that someone's told you to kill them? And I'm like, huh... And I found this one robot, and he was running away from me. He's like, they never stop! And he was, like, more and more human. And then I dropped down into this pit, and then there was all these fucking...
robots.
all these fucking robots. Not in a curse sense, but all these robots literally fucking each other. Like, they were ramming into each other, and one robot was, like, eating each other out. There wasn't actually any penetration, but they were simulating.
They're like thrusting and like smacking into each other, and Cunnilingus spot is all like. And
then they all kind of like merged into this hive nest thing, and then this human android bot came out with like the Ken nub dick and everything like that.
Yes, my favourite part of a puppy.
Oh yeah, the fucking nub dicks are the best, and then.
I mean, that's what I have. What about you guys at home?
Yeah, right?
Doesn't everyone?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that sounds fucking intense.
And from what else I've seen, it gets weirder and more into, like...
Well, even he's like, why are you fighting me?
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing... What are you doing?
Yeah, the robot's like, why are you doing this? And it only attacked me after I attacked it and shit like that.
Right, so already the story is like more shades of grey than anything else.
Yeah, I'd say it's about like 55 shades of grey.
So if you...
just a bit over 50 shades of grey.
If you enjoyed the latest Blade Runner movie, this is a good game to keep your brain thinking that way.
Cool, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, have you seen it?
I haven't seen it myself, but I know the gist of it, and having judged from the original Blade Runner movies, it's kind of the same like grey line,
Right, okay,
they're
cool.
playing with.
Alright, cool.
I've heard it,
that
like-
Uncanny Valley.
I've heard a lot of good things about the new Blade Runner
Okay,
movie,
I might check
actually.
it out.
Um,
I was very skeptical because I'm like,
Mm.
nah, it's Blade fucking Runner. Why are you trying to bring that back? Like, anyway.
let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's Nier Automata for me. I'll go into some other stuff later, but what have you been playing recently, Ed?
I've been getting into a bit of Divinity, of course. That's very enjoyable. I think we've spoken about that plenty.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been playing a bit of Cuphead.
Oh, that looks so sick.
It does look very sick.
So I'm
Yeah.
playing a bit of it as well.
And it's causing a stir. It's beautiful.
It is.
Let's just knock that nail on the head. It is gorgeous.
looks
It is an art gallery.
Brilliant. Yeah, it sounds amazing too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the soundtrack. Oh.
And
It feels
I love
good
that
as
aesthetic.
well. It
I
feels
love that
good.
aesthetic
Like,
so much.
The
Yeah.
like Steamboat Mickey kind of.
Yeah, two
The whole-
arms, everyone's bouncing up and down
Yeah,
the whole time.
yeah.
It's like 50s cartoons.
Constant,
and
like
shit.
constant motion and everything.
And like
yeah.
Queensbury rules.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
And sort of propaganda-y and
Well,
everything. like
yeah,
that.
that's what I think I told you that, but it is all based off propaganda artwork.
Yeah.
But it's fucking gorgeous and it feels good. It's not like one of those games where it's like, oh, I can enjoy this visually, but it's janky as fuck. No, it is a smooth, really good video game.
See, I think as a game, it's just a game. Like, there's not a lot going on. There's a parry, like, there's double jumps,
So is it
There's
kind of
like
like
a
Alien Hominid
lot
style
of like
gameplay, pretty much?
a lot of weapons. It's like a side-scrolly, like, shooter. You can
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
mix up your weapons, like spread
Yeah.
Yeah.
boomerang shot, whatever you like. There's not a lot going on in the gameplay, but as I was saying to Aaron before we recorded a couple days ago, it's just made with so much love that you just can't help but feel warm about the whole experience.
Yeah, cool. I like that.
It's like someone sat there for like 3 to 5 years, lovingly drawing this out by hand, doing the colors themselves.
Sick. Okay.
And it's such a good story because these guys that make this game, they've had to like mortgage their house to keep it going.
Really?
Like
Wow.
they're selling their belongings, and it's so nice just to see it released and absolutely like
Just take the
rocket.
fuck off. Awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
That's sick.
it's one of the good stories in gaming right now.
If there's any game companies or just any companies listening in general, sometimes it's not always about the bottom line.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, yeah, you can just tell. You can tell that someone really cares about this.
Yeah, it was
like,
made with love.
about how this game turns out.
Sick.
I guess kind of going back to what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago in business practices when we were talking about Kickstarters, how people having this sense of entitlement. It's like, I want to make something that I love, so give me money to do it because you should love it as well. This is like the perspective that I love. It's like, if you want to make something and it's expensive to make, you're going to have to break your fucking balls and pinch every penny to make that shit work.
I don't know. I'm not sure if it was entirely funded off their own back. There'd have to be. This seems
There
like
would be a
absolute Kickstarter material.
Yeah, but
because
if
we
they're
rag on
their
it.
house and
but,
shit.
but the two games that we've just talked about that about loving both found to start on Kickstarter. Divinity
Okay, true.
has
It was.
Kickstarter, as
Yeah.
is this. I think it's when big companies and
Yeah,
big
it's when
names
people
come out
don't
saying
need
like,
it. It's like, it's like, oh, hey guys, I've already got like 3 million just in my pocket, but do you want to give me 5 more so I can make a cool little game?
Yeah. Anyways, I'm not going to dive back into
Back
that.
onto
kettle of
Cuphead.
fish.
Yeah,
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough game. A lot tougher on co-op apparently. Even
Really?
yeah, because there's more enemies, more health for bosses, stuff like that.
But there's also an element where you can revive each
Yeah,
other.
yeah. Well, I guess it's just balanced in that way.
Yeah, which is good.
Because of the difficulty, it's a lot of like it's pretty polarizing at the moment.
What? So like either people love it or hate it, or
So-
like if you're playing with someone
Well, did
else,
you
you
see
love
the-
them or hate them.
Did you see the? I think we've talked about it before. The IGN review, where he
no,
spent
no.
like half an hour trying to complete the tutorial,
What?
just because the guy is literally a spastic, like is ignoring instructions, can't figure out how to like air dash and stuff like that in the tutorial. He's jumping around. My God! Upon the release of this game, the internet has just been like having a field day with this guy. The amount of like fake Let's Play videos that people put up of them just sucking at the tutorial. I just don't. What if maybe you have to push it?
Excellent.
But there's also been an article this week saying that the game's too hard and you should be able to skip bosses. Problem is, the game's 95% bosses.
It is.
And-
like...
this is why I sort of brought up what we brought up earlier, right? There's different types of gamers. There are people that want to see a game. There are people that want to beat the game. If you like, I think games are designed with a specific audience in mind, and there's a reason this is hard.
Yeah,
I reckon instead of that, like, say you die 60 times or whatever to a boss, whatever the counter is, it should say, hey, looks like you're having trouble. If you want, spend a bit of in-game currency or whatever to get the cutscene and skip the boss and get to the next level, or you can keep going.
I think it just should humiliate you in every way possible.
Yeah, like...
make it like,
is
it a bit hard?
Is you a bitch?
You can skip it if you want, you little sissy, but I mean, a real man would pick the controller back up and give it another go.
I agree there could be an element to that. But it's kind of like, imagine if Dark Souls did that. It's like, oh, you've got all these souls, give 10,000 souls to skip this boss.
You would though, wouldn't you?
You would, but I would, probably on some bosses. But in the same vein, would that game series have sold as well as it did
Probably
if it did that? Because, like, there's so many railroad hand-holding fucking self-jack-offing games lately that where it's just like, I'm saving the world by pressing A and right trigger.
Press X to win, yeah.
Yeah,
And a big
cutscenes like that, and it's just like, there needs to be games that are celebrated
for being
difficult.
like Dark Souls.
Like
now
games
Cuphead,
fucking work. Okay,
Yeah.
now...
Like Ikaruga, have you heard of that?
No.
That's what, near, whatever... What is it?
Automata.
Yeah, that's the one. Ikaruga is very reminiscent of that. It was like a top-down kind of shooter where you could switch between your shot types, white or black, and white shot types would only damage white ships and take out their shots, and same difference for black ships and their shot types, but they're both coming at you all the time, like 25
That's cool.
So that's when I was watching, I'm like, no way, they remade the whatever it's called. It's Ikaruga. And
Right,
it was fucking hard. Like, easy, you made you want to kill yourself. Because
I feel they dodged
2 hours on the
I feel they dodged a bullet with, like, a race rights there. It's like, the white bullets kill the black ships. Like,
no,
there was like, no way, no, white kills white, black kills black. Let's just keep that shit separate.
Yep.
White kills everything and makes you invincible, but if you're black, you shoot yourself.
Jesus fucking Christ.
In terms of spaceships.
Spaceships are not people.
Yep, let's just move on.
Black spaceships aren't people, you fucking racist. What are you talking about?
No, in that they're spaceships, idiot.
Okay, I need to paraphrase. I am not racist. I was just running with it.
Racist.
And I'm not
No,
racist.
we know.
I know. I'm sorry. That was wrong of me to say.
We're a big bunch of kids and kidders in
See,
here.
the thought went through my head. I'm like, no.
And then I'm just like, let me take that.
You said black bullets kill black ships. I'm like, there's probably something in that, but I'm just gonna hold on to it. I don't think it's gonna be that kind of conversation today.
Guess what? You're wrong!
And then the black ships shoot themselves.
Boy.
So swiftly moving off that conversation, Ethan, what have you been playing recently?
Well, I've gone a complete 180 from you and gone, hey, it's time for some old indie games.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been checking out some, like, pretty much just the free drops on Xbox Live Arcade and stuff like that. Bunch of 360 titles and everything like that.
Quickly to jump in, you've got your second arm back.
Yes! Yeah, I forgot to mention. I'm moving my left arm around. It's not 100%. The elbow's still... Sorry, I'm moving my arm, not passing something.
I was confused. It's either trying to pass something. I just passed something to you.
It was all a shabozzle. No, so I can move my arm again, so I'm back to two-handed gaming. Which, thank Christ, because Lego games, while they're fun, we're getting so old. Like, I love the Star Wars Complete Saga, but... it's the same as that heavy weapon game I was just kind of playing. Like, you get to the end of it, you beat it, and then it's like, alright, do it again, but quicker!
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't really want to, hey.
Yeah.
Lego games are perfect for playing with children. You know,
Yes.
like when you have like little tiny kids and you're playing video games and you like give them an unplugged controller, That's essentially what a Lego game is. You just
Yeah,
pass them
exactly.
a controller, just run around, do whatever you want.
Especially with some
And
of
when
the
I
Lego
need
ones.
you, I'll call you. You just
Yeah.
you just run around and enjoy exploring.
It's like, oopsies, you died, you're back. You just crumbled into Lego bits.
Like
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
just to cut you off, sorry. I was playing with my cousin Anchor. I was playing Splatoon at the time. I just picked that up and plugged my Wii in, and he fucking loved it. We called the Find the Fishy game because he had to find these electric fish, and he loved it. And he's like, "Oh, I want to play." I'm like, "All right." The internet's told me what to do, so I hand him a turned-off controller. He not only within 10 seconds, this kid's like 3 years old, figured it was off. And turned it on and synced his controller and took control away from me playing the game.
Yeah,
and started, I'm just like,
That's
"Fuck
the
you,
kind of memory you want your 3-year-old
yeah,
cousin coming through with you. My cousin was an asshole and didn't want to play games with him.
And then I fucking outsmarted it. Who needs the bastard?
Yeah, I was just like, Jesus, okay. But yeah, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, Lego games were...
Lego games, they're fine, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, but the complete saga, the Lego Star Wars complete saga one, that's, I want to say, at least 8 years old now. And even just Lego games have made massive improvements since then. Like I played still when I was one-handing, I played the Pirates of the Caribbean Lego one.
And fuck you, because that soundtrack was in my head for like a week.
Yeah, tons of improvements. Like there's like fall saves and just slicker gameplay.
The graphical fidelity looks a lot smoother.
Absolutely.
Like the ambient occlusion.
Motion blur, which you can turn on and off as well, which is super cool. One of the best, though, in my opinion, that I've played is Lego Marvel Superheroes.
I've heard that. I've heard it's really good.
Sick. The character lineup is brilliant. The hub world is just the city, which even if you're split screening it, if you get close enough, both of you kind of go into the same screen. As soon as you go far enough apart, it goes split screen.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
And then whoever goes into a door or whatever starts that world. So you can just be like, oh, do you want to go in here? Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Look.
Yeah,
you
awesome.
both go there kind of thing.
Yeah, Zugi was playing that for a while back, and he said it was really, really enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you finally get Stan Lee, he has like all of the powers.
Wait,
so...
you can get Stan Lee as a character?
Of course you can.
Of course you can, but like,
That's his
I
cameo.
didn't even think about it. That's fucking amazing.
Excelsior.
Exactly. Yeah. But anyway, enough Lego games because I've got two hands now, and I decided, hey, now that I can play, AAA titles again, let's do the fucking weird indie games and go down that road for a bit.
And we had an interesting experience with Tomb Raider Temple of Osiris.
Oh yeah, Square Enix doing a Tomb Raider game.
So I fucking hated that game. I fucking hated that game because I came out, I woke up, Ethan's playing this game, and it's like a fucking Lara Croft meets fucking Diablo meets Gauntlet. I'm like, I'm all about this shit. Ethan and I used to love Gauntlet Legends as a kid.
Man.
And we've, like, not to say I don't enjoy gaming with you, but the most fun I have gaming with you is when we find a new dungeon crawler to play together.
Yeah, that's why I originally got it, because this looks like a cool little dungeon crawler. Everyone might enjoy this.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, we did not.
I fucking hated that shit. Okay, for starters, my vision isn't great. So my character outline... Nothing good. My character outline was yellow. You know what's also yellow? All of fucking Egypt. All of fucking
Someone
Egypt.
should let him know.
Egypt! You're yellow.
You're a bit
You have an
yellow.
aesthetic problem.
So I'm getting lost in everything, and there's gear, and it'll zoom out. Not to mention, when you jump into 2-player, it makes it so there's like, if you play it 1-player, you can do the puzzles just with Lara Croft. But if you play 2-player, it kind of splits the puzzle-solving responsibilities between two people. You know what it didn't do when I jumped into that? Tell me anything that I can
Tell
do.
me what to do.
It didn't do anything. So, like, we're in this room, and we can't jump up to anything.
We spent, 15 minutes?
At least trying to figure this out. I'm shining fucking my Osiris beam cannon at everyone. And then we looked up and... You know what I should have done, though? Was pressed all the buttons on the controller. Because I didn't do that, and, like, L1 or something, or L bumper, was, like, makes me into, like, this shield that Lara Croft can jump on. Anyways, I didn't like it. What did you think of it, Ethan? Did you actually enjoy it?
Going back to our conversation about those three types of gamers, I'm definitely a type of person who likes beating games, so this was one of the games where I was very happy to not get everything in it, because I finished it and then I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. That's it for me. No more.
I've seen enough.
Yeah, I've seen enough.
Quick paraphrase.
There's nothing more here.
I think you would really enjoy, and Ed would probably be able to attest to this, you would really enjoy Gerard the Completionist YouTube channel, because he will go through and 100% a game a week and document it all and get all the achievements and like how he does it and all these workarounds he has to do. I think when he was doing...
Like he'll do like games that have multiplayer online that were made like 5 years ago. So have no server traffic, so he has to figure out with his small team of people how to get all of these multiplayer achievements.
Nice.
So like Gears of War, when he was doing Gears of War 3, but doing the whole collection, like the one that we saw at the store.
So he was doing seriously?
He was doing everything. He did
man.
everything. So he had to get like 8 Xboxes and 8 copies of this, simulate his own fucking online thing just to do all the achievements. Because he's a completionist.
But that would have been easy, so then he would have just gotten everyone like lined up in a row and he would have just been like, blah.
But yeah, but it's more just like...
It would have taken a lot of time, yeah.
And
money.
And money and like research into how to do it, because he's only got a week. He's like, I'm starting this week and I'm uploading it next week, or like to keep his thing going, he has to complete the game.
That's fucking
and
crazy.
I think the best thing is there's not always joy in it anymore. He's kind of like,
That's what this
I
was.
guess I'm the completionist now.
Yeah.
Like, I have to do it.
I have to do
That's
it.
my thing.
That's me to a T.
Yeah,
I was playing this horrible Lara Croft game.
So I think you would enjoy it. That and probably Brown Man he would enjoy a lot. Or old Achievement Hunter stuff. Rainovirus Jr. was the main person on Achievement Hunter, or one of the main...
One of the original guys, yeah.
One of the originals for Achievement Hunter on Rooster Teeth. And now he just has his own Twitch channel where he does do that, but more at his own pace. So he'll pick up a game and just work through every achievement and shit like that. So yeah, just
He's
a bit of
a
a
gamer
sidebar.
school guy. Like,
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
gamer.
yeah, cool,
He's
cool.
got like 300,000 Xbox Live score or something like that, and he'll
the kind of dude that'll play a game on 360 and Xbox One to like complete it twice.
and
1,000 times twice.
yeah.
I also played Grow Up, which Arent saw me playing a little bit of, which was another weird as fuck indie game. It was made by Ubisoft, some subsidiary company of theirs. But essentially you're a little droid that has to grow plants to try and...
I know, but it's got a very cute aesthetic.
does,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very cute, very janky. It's like...
But like purposely janky,
Yeah,
like Goat Simulator sort of
Oh,
janky.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And that was weird but fun. I think... fuck. What else have we been playing? Just weird
A
shit.
little bit of everything.
Yeah, just
Yep.
weird shit
That's the
lately.
beauty of the indie games, right? You buy them for like under $10. So you
Or
can,
free
free
or
or
what,
free,
yeah.
so you can have sort of 5 of them on the back burner. And
Oh, absolutely,
I'm
yeah.
sick of this. Next
yeah,
one.
next. Got Hydro Thunder. That's great. I missed that on 64 originally, and playing that, I was like, I can see why everyone was losing their mind over the water physics, because these are great.
It was really, and for its time, it was really good.
Yeah.
I actually didn't tell you this, Ed. You might be interested in jumping in on this. Zugi and I have started playing Minecraft again.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It was after a night we like jumped on, played a couple games of HOTS, and we just got trash tier teams. And
Just remind me of the Rick and Morty joke about Minecraft.
oh fuck yeah!
Isn't this better than Minecraft, Morty?
No. Is this for autistic people? I don't know. Why? Because I'm starting to love it. Because it's exactly like that. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
simply as
seriously
this is a game for idiots. But
Yeah.
I'm fucking having the best time ever.
Loving it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, because you could just... I could spend ages talking about Minecraft. Yeah.
So yeah, Zugi and I have started playing that again.
Nice.
Really enjoying it. Not doing like an actual server thing through the Java browser. We're just like going in, making our own worlds with a seed and just going for it and just digging, and more enjoying it for the let's dig down 60 squares and then find this random procedurally generated cavern with lava and I ran into an Enderman for the first time and proceeded to shit myself and lose all my
they're
items.
terrifying. Yep.
They're terrifying. I do not enjoy their existence.
My original Minecraft partner, because I used to play with Fraser and Nick a lot, right?
Yeah.
We always had a good dynamic with the kind of players of Minecraft we were, because I'm a builder.
Mm-hmm.
I like building elaborate shit, but I like doing it in survival mode.
Yeah,
because I enjoy gathering the resources.
Rather than just being like, doesn't matter.
And Fraser was always an automator. His thing was the most efficient way to get resources.
Fuck yeah.
So he'd just be down he was resource slave essentially. He'd just be down there digging shit and sending it up in a cart and I'd send it back down.
Yeah,
make him dig more
oddly
shit.
enough, I had a similar kind of group dynamic with me, James, and Tony. I was probably the resource whore.
Mm-hmm.
I figured out how to make a fishing machine, so you always caught a fish perfectly, no matter what, every single time. It worked perfectly. It was ridiculous. But I made a bunch of farms, and I love caving and shit. And Tony was like, he'd be like, "Hey Tony, how you doing?" I was like, "Yeah, good. Nearly done this pixel art. I just need a bit more wool." So
yeah.
Step in, alright, cool.
So and you get this great setup because he's the cave goblin. It's
like I got resources to make whatever I want.
After a couple of days of gameplay spread out over a week where he's just living in the cave, he'll come up and all of a sudden I've built a sculpture of him. This is here now, I guess.
Well, when I first played Minecraft properly, it was with you and Fraser, and I was severely novice in the understanding of
the Escher hallway.
The fucking MC Escher hallway. So I've discovered my thing in Minecraft. So I made a few hallways. My thing is I love building if I'm in a cave and I found a second base, building walkways through jungle or caves or
So he's actually the cave goblin.
I'm actually a cave goblin. Izuki and I don't have beds because our base is
constantly on the move.
No, not even on the move. We literally found a mountain. It's we're going into that. We built a house around it, put torches in it, and found enough coal. We don't need beds because we're never actually outside. I might chop down a few trees. It's day, cool. I'll be back in a fucking week or something. Just chop down 30 trees.
Morlocks,
Yeah, seriously. I was actually in my head role playing it we were more of a dwarven race in Minecraft. So more centered
Minecraft's
underground.
almost a gamer simulator. You go into a dark room for a while, you fuck about for a bit, then you come out. You're what fucking time is it?
Yeah, seriously.
How long is time?
We played from 10 p.m. till it got to 5 a.m. really quickly.
Yeah, it's easy to do now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You get lost in those caves.
Yeah, so that's what I've been playing a lot of in the last couple of days. I've also been dabbling into a few of the AAA shooters have been doing their open betas.
Mm-hmm.
Week and a half ago was the Call of Duty World War II one. I wanted to enjoy it.
It's not good.
It's not.
Oh.
It's not. They're
I'd be lying if I said I was in any way surprised by that.
But I wanted to because World at War was my flagship COD.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool. Your guns felt clunky and slow and recoily. They felt hard to manage. Whereas they feel like the advanced warfare.
The advanced water.
Advanced water. It's water with bubbles in it.
H3.
You can sure taste that extra hydrogen molecule.
Yeah.
Or the extra
now with more water.
Yeah. But it was the guns were the recoilless laser guns from Advanced Warfare with a World War II skin on it.
God damn.
It was a case of a lot of Battlefield is doing better than us, so we now need to have a class shooter sort of thing. So,
I was trying to take this opportunity to stand up and grab my beverage and clunk, clunk. Arent, get a few squeaks into that chair.
Walking into a lecture with a Velcro bound Bible and being like,
it's the worst feeling in the
so
world.
quiet about this.
I mean, I probably could have kept speaking, but I was like watching you open it, so I like paused, and it's like apparently we're robots now because there's pistons going off in here.
Well, this stays in.
No, it's just a steampunk recording.
Yeah, you'd have it. So it was really cool. I got into it, and then there's like choose your division. So you can be like airborne, which is more your submachine guns, or infantry, which is your rifles, heavy stuff, which are your LMGs, and blah 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 blah. So you can work through it more traditionally to a battlefield system, as opposed to a COD where it's like you can be anything and it's just your class, which is fine, which is what it was, which was fine. But then you've got like, I don't think incendiary rounds existed in World War II, and if they were not as effective as they were in this. Like, I've tried some forums because it actually bothered me a bit, and someone was like, yeah, it would like singe you a bit, but this is like, it would shoot 20 meters of fire, and that fire would one-shot you. So you've got people running around with like pump-action shotguns and incendiary rounds, just going.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, as soon as that happened, I'm like, well, this is instantly less fun. The maps feel very, like, not made with love and not designed. And one of my friends I was talking to about it was like, you could just get a point in a war. Like, realistically, people who fought in the war, they're probably not going to play this game. So you could take the integrity of design and, you know, look where wars were fought. Like, actual parts of real battlefields.
Like,
and re-simulate
model
that.
the shit out of Normandy.
Yeah, exactly like that. But they were just like, oh, for the last 3 titles, people are saying we weren't World War II, so we're making a World War II. And on that point, there's a reason why World War II shooters phased out, and we went towards modern, a la Halo and the new CODs, because they were done to death.
Absolutely.
And this is it's not even a reincarnation of that. It's a fucking Acme Wile E. Coyote zombie of
it's Call of Duty with a different skin.
It is. It really is.
Yeah,
it's advanced warfare
I
with
figure it.
You're not double jumping and triple jumping, but you're sprinting more than a fucking 17-year-old alcoholic and smoking English dude with a fucking trench gun would do. Like, I wanted it to be so much more, but I knew it wasn't going to be, and it was pretty disappointing, to be honest.
Even the single player like Call of Duty is pretty much run its leg. Like, I could tell you if they said we're releasing a new Call of Duty in 6 months' time, I could tell you what that story was going to be. It's going to be early skirmish, catastrophic event, like fighting toward objective, big traitorous moment.
Your character
and
dies,
then
take
like
control of another character,
and then first-person set piece.
Yeah.
Like a couple of those thrown in there.
You're absolutely right. So
been that way since Shepard.
Yeah. And
whether it's
and when it was
even before that, it's like what it was. I'm in the subway tunnels, giant flood. I'm in the city, nuke. I'm in space, big nuke.
Yeah,
like nuke to space,
space nuke.
So I think I'm gonna leave that as it is. I'm not gonna be like, if there's repeated Steam reviews where it's like, this is the best campaign ever, I'd pick it up and play the campaign and leave it at that. I felt a very adolescent rage stimulating in me, and I hadn't felt that in years, just from like playing COD. I'm like, I don't want to be that person again, so I'm just going to leave that there. But the other AAA shooter that I picked up was Battlefront II, Star Wars Battlefront II. Hands down, probably one of the most gorgeous shooters I've played to date.
Cool.
Aesthetically, it looks fucking amazing. And if you want to be with 38 fucking other droids in varying types with human-controlled Naboo fighters and stuff like that, breaking into the new Naboo palace, and then all of a sudden, fucking Darth Maul fucking launches past you and can cut through 8 human players in about 5 seconds, this is the game for you, because it's awesome in those moments, and it's really, really cool. Or being Boba Fett in the fucking throne room flying around, or Han Solo, and you're just blowing motherfuckers up. It does that well.
Justified OP is okay. Justified OP is fine.
Yeah,
if you're in like a group of 10 people, and your 10 people get absolutely like smoked, it's like, well, that's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Have you seen us try and shoot at him? Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's kayfabe. It's totally within story that we wouldn't be able to shoot it.
Yeah,
He would
exactly.
absolutely mince us.
Or when you're playing Rain, you just like walk towards people and just like deflect with one hand, neutralize them with another. It feels how it should. But, and this is a very, very big but.
And I cannot lie.
The other brothers cannot deny that this game
When a
will,
game walks in with a really big issue,
it will
And it's
irrefutably
probably
be
microtransactions you get.
nail on the fucking head. This game is going to be irrefutably pay to win. So you can buy.
hey, are you sick of being killed by all of these light-side Jedis? Buy yourself power armor for $250 real-world dollars, and for 24 hours, you can't get killed by them.
Pretty much.
Yep.
So you buy these loot chests, and someone was
no!
like, I need to find this tweet. Like,
Enough with loot chests.
Yeah, I'm so done
I'm
with
gonna-
loot chests.
okay,
Putting my bethonged foot down and screaming at the gaming world, stop with loot chests.
Please.
Stop it.
Just
Okay.
give us something to work to.
You.
That is you, microphone right in front of us, displaying or broadcasting this out to the world. Listen, enough
EA
with the loot.
executive.
EA especially. We're done with loot chests. We would like given a clear objective to work to. Tell us what level we're going to unlock a gun. That's fine. Don't make that a random thing with 60 trillion aesthetic skins that we don't really want or need.
I get it. It worked. It worked when Blizzard did it. And there's this created compulsive need that people have when they play, like the people that play these video games now have, where they just have to have 30 loot chests and woo, open them like nuts.
but that's the thing. You actually get some stuff from this. In Battlefront, you rarely get loot chests, and it's more you're literally just buying them. Now, I'm gonna read.
Oh, really? So, like, it's actually hard to get the unlockable.
You don't get one like every couple of games, and that's what I liked about
Stop
HOTS.
it.
HOTS and Overwatch did it well because you played a few games, you might get a new skin. That's fucking cool. I'm just getting free shit, especially in HOTS and other stuff like that because
Where it doesn't really matter. It doesn't
it
affect
doesn't.
gameplay.
Not only
Yeah.
does it not really matter.
Well,
but-
it matters to the person playing it. It's
Of
like,
course,
oh,
of
that's a
course.
cool skin. That's a nice costume. Whatever.
But the thing is, you're getting that stuff, which is also, you can pay for that. You're getting stuff that does cost you money otherwise for free. You're just getting free new cool shit.
Yeah.
Like, in HOTS, there's a fucking invisible horse mount, and they're doing a lot of really memey horses where, like, you're literally, like, you can see the outline of a spectral horse, and all you see is a shadow. A saddle, rather. You're just riding a saddle through the air.
Excellent.
Or, like, the Halloween horses are horses with blankets over them with horses painted on them shittily. Like, that's fucking funny. That's cool. And I can get more of that stuff from loot boxes from playing the game that I love. That's fine. But in this article, which is probably the best review I've seen in an IGN page ever. So if I spent $200 on crates, open or craft all the best cards, which are like your buffs for
Perks.
24 hours, perks and stuff like that, I can then face an equally skilled opponent at the same level who didn't spend money. I will likely win because I have better tools available. That's indisputable, which means Battlefront 2 at least has pay-to-win elements. Frankly, that sucks, and would potentially be the kiss of death for any competitive shooter that wasn't wielding the Star Wars license. To be fair, you can't buy your way up to maximum capacity at least. Leveling up a class through playing matches will unlock more card slots for it, so investing time can also give you a leg up. But those level ups seem to be coming much faster than the crates, at least in the beta. Update. It's been pointed out to me that leveling class is actually tied... pointed out that leveling class is actually tied to how many cards you have for that class, not matches played, which means this is even worse, meaning that buying a large amount of cards right off the bat will allow you to immediately equip more cards per class than those who don't, so you can actually buy your way to maximum capacity.
Excellent.
So that's just fucked. That's fucked, and it's why I will not play it part of the beta. I got my taste, I got my fix. I'm not the hugest fan of the Star Wars IP, especially now that it's just getting careened down my gullet like a fucking 12-foot
Any word on
dick,
Galactic
like-
Conquest? Is there a Galactic Conquest in this one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That'll satisfy a lot of people. And they've got a
Yes.
single player campaign. That's enough for me. I'll have a shot. I like Star Wars. New story content in Star Wars is always appreciated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
fair
will
enough.
not play online because fuck that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I feel you.
story mode's good. Galactic Conquest, that'll be enough.
And they're
I can
adding...
play AI opponents and enjoy like the grind of doing that mode.
Yeah. There is... And it's shitty
That's all
that
people wanted. They're like, the first one came out, and they're like, we liked Galactic Conquest.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Can you put it in there, please?
Yeah. Right? So... It's got a lot of really good elements, and the design of it is, like, the classes feels cool. So there's not an inherent healer, but you can play an officer class. So if you're playing as the clones, you have those, like, dicky sort of, like, almost German officer hats, and you run around, and you don't heal people, but you give them, like, a shield or increased health for a bit. Or you can play it heavy, where you're just like this big hulking stormtrooper who can like put up a shield for themselves and pull out a minigun, or you can be like a run and gun sort of one, or you can be a sniper or something. Some of the archetype I didn't reference. It looks gorgeous. It feels really cool. The power spikes, and like playing the objective means you can be Darth Maul within the first 2 minutes if you play it smart. And then if you don't die, you can carry that to victory. So if you play smart and play the objective well, you can win and be benefited with that. But if I'm not able to play the objective because people have spent more money on this game than me, that's a big no-no for me. So, I guess in summary, I'm probably not going to be playing
Space Battlefield.
Space Battle... yeah, no, actually, yeah.
It is.
It is. It's got Rush in it, and it's got... The one thing I did like, now... In, I guess, the Rush version of it, you're attacking as the droids on Naboo Palace, and instead of it just being, get the big tank to the checkpoint resource sort of things, as the defenders, you could pick up these ion cannons and blow the tank up before it gets there. So that's how you best defend. And then if you take off an amount of their resource tickets, they've got less for invading the palace, as a traditional Rush sense will go. But having these ion cannons actually gives you a pseudo-objective to fight over these checkpoints, because it's like, fuck.
They're a big tactical advantage.
It's a big tactical advantage, so it's like, if you're not defending them, they're just going to be blowing your tank up and you're not going to progress any further. But if you're defending them from attacking with them, you can just steamroll them. So it's a lot of ebb and flow, and I feel at least... the tactical gameplay in that could be cool, but again, if I'm just getting creamed by some rich seat...
Pay-to-play guy with 2 solid gold 1812 slug shots that he bought.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
What people wanted, they just wanted what they had. They just wanted what they had, but it looked better. Like the original Battlefront II, as to our conversation last week, probably finds a spot in the top 5.
Yeah.
For me. That game is great. It's amazing. Shout out to the 501st Legion.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's all people wanted.
Absolutely.
That's it. All anyone wanted.
That a bit prettier with more stuff.
They wanted
exactly
that. They didn't need it online.
Exactly what I was... Battlefield Bad Company 2. Fucking brilliant. Or Battlefield 3. Probably more Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Yeah.
Except with prone.
Wait, that's right. You couldn't prone in that.
You couldn't prone in that one, which is dumb. But anyway.
But like the just to quickly shoot off, the building destruction was irrefutably better in that one.
Do you remember that shot that I made where I was looking through wreckage and that guy's head was in that hole that was like that big, and it was like stairs and stuff? I wouldn't have been able to see him if there wasn't building destruction. It's like the way that you can get campers out of their camping spots in the earlier Battlefields when they had more building destruction was great. If a guy's annoying you, just chuck a few grenades in, lay on some C4, get the fuck out of Dodge, hit the button, and then there's no more building. Whereas, even in Battlefield 3, it felt like you had to sit in front of a building for a solid 15 minutes with a tank, just shooting your cannon at it repeatedly.
And a lot of buildings, they felt more like set pieces. It's like, this is the first phase, and after you destroyed it, this is what the second phase of the building will look like. Yeah. Whereas, in Bad Company 2, it was like, I don't want that building to be there anymore. It's annoying, so it's not anymore. I'm blowing this building up and it's falling down. If there's people in it, I get a quadra kill for it. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Or if I'm still in it, whoops.
Not enough things do that well enough, I don't.
Yeah.
I think that's such a big opportunity. Because, not many games have that engine where shit just crumbles around you. like the Red Faction style of just
we were actually
of, like
talking
boom,
about
boom,
that,
boom. Everything is dust now.
Everything
Yeah.
is crumbling, and I need to get the fuck out because holy shit.
I can take this 5-story building and just turn it to dust.
Yeah, singularity bomb.
Yeah.
And because I remember we played that game a lot when it first came out. And I did some researching into it when I was younger, and they actually got like a lot of structural and civil engineers in to make that engine.
Awesome.
Because like it's like if you've got this big building and you're just hucking at the side plating, it's not going to go down. But if you like break inside, go under it, and find
Tink, tink.
if you find like the structural strong points of it and put bombs on those, you can fucking
that's
dust
great.
a building.
You can be a terrorist.
Yeah. So.
Al-Qaeda Podcast 2017. For all your Al-Qaeda news, straight from Al-Qaeda themselves. Hello, US government. I know you're listening.
I mean, it's a good way to get
as soon
reach
as
for
you
the
see that
podcast.
light start flickering, you know we're tapped.
So, I've been a little disappointed with them. I've also picked up Destiny 2 this week, but I've been playing a lot of other games, so I'll probably report on that next week. And if I'm not impressed with it, I'm just gonna
Do what I did. Start playing some indie games, man.
Well, no,
'cause that's
it's-
honestly why I did it.
Yeah, honestly, I probably will look into playing. Well, I've just honestly been going. I love HOTS. I love playing HOTS, but I'm sick of only playing HOTS with my friends. We need to play something different.
Yeah.
And then they're like, let's just play Overwatch. It's like, no, can we not fucking play a Blizzard game? This is someone who's making a company to play Blizzard games, and I'm like, can we just not?
Not a Blizzard game?
Download fucking PUBG. We'll have the most fun ever. 4 of us together, or Minecraft, or even a fucking old Borderlands.
RuneScape.
Or RuneScape. Yeah.
No, I'm never going. Never
Yes,
jump
you
it.
fucking
I am
are.
never in my life going to jump down that hole
Yes,
until
you
perhaps
are.
it comes out on mobile phone.
No, well, it is
And
coming
then
out
it's just
next
going to
year.
be like
It is next year.
It's going to be my number one like turd game.
Here's the thing though, the best thing about RuneScape in terms of an RPG, you can literally get up and walk away while you're still doing something in the game, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does not matter. It's such an easy pick up and
I
play
plan
RPG.
to play that game 5 to 10 minutes at a time while I'm doing poos. That's RuneScape on a mobile for me.
Alright, fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
I'll be
You'd
happy
be
with
wrong
mine.
in thinking that, but you're allowed to have your own wrong opinion. Yeah, what else have we been playing? I too played a bit of Cuphead. I enjoyed that enough. But like you said, it doesn't bring anything amazing in the gameplay. So like I said last week, and you would attest to this, Ethan, if a game doesn't grab me on the gameplay, it probably won't grab me. And I'm like, cool, there's like a parry, a jump, a dash, and a shoot, and a super shoot. I'm like, cool. This is a beautiful game, and I'll chip away at it, but it's not something I'm gonna, oh fuck yeah, wake up, I can't wait to play more of that game.
Yeah, cool.
It's my frustration game at the moment. It's I'm sick of my main thing that I'm playing. Fuck it for now. I'm going to play 10 minutes of Cuphead and feel happy about looking at it.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, I feel very much
There's
the same.
actually an indie game that I've been playing a bit of recently that seems like it'd be a brilliant 4-player game. It's called Lovers in a Dangerous Space.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, have
And
you
all
played
that,
Which
that?
one was
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
It was the spaceship one where you've got like
Yeah.
6 or 7 different ports on your spaceship that you can do, but you've only got 1 to 4 people or 2 to 4 people fixing it up. If you're one player, you've got like a little AI pet that you can hold
So-
Y, time slows down. You're like, yeah, go to this gun, no, go to the shields, or whatever you need them to do. I pretty much just stick them on the shields, and I'm like, I'll do everything else because
Yeah.
that's it. That's all you need, really.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it looks like it'd be a mad fun 4-player game. I'd really like to get a few more controllers and check that out because it's just so frantic with 2 people, and I'd love to see that energy translated into like I'm a big fan of party games. A party games done well, not where it's like not a few of the like Nintendo Wii U. A couple of them were cool.
Yeah.
Like a couple of the 5-player games were cool, where it's like 4 people running away from the Overlord 5th person, or vice versa. Them all chasing them.
They really wasted that.
Opportunity.
Hardware.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I think they didn't see or couldn't afford to really hit the potential of that, like of your handheld screen.
Yeah. Could you imagine a photography game with the Wii U? That'd be cool.
Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
Why the fuck?
Pokemon
Yeah.
Snap. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But
Nintendo, what have you done?
I was just looking at the sound waves. I think it got spiky there. Apologise to probably my ears when I'm editing this in a few days.
Yeah, they did kind of drop the ball on that then, hey?
yeah, there's a lot because they did some good stuff. But there's a lot they could do. You could
That
have.
being said, Wii Sports is like one of the best-selling games ever.
That's because it came with every single Wii.
Yes,
So
true. But
And not as, like, it was sold as a bundle, but that
This-
wasn't.
yeah.
That and people lost their minds because Nintendo had a new in-home console.
Yeah.
So
And also-
everyone that cared.
Wait, I could go
iota about
bowling
Nintendo.
in my lounge?
And people just didn't understand that it wasn't quite motion controls yet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I can achieve the same result by
Just wanging it.
flailing.
I like,
This is like running, right?
and like way too many games where the like winning action is basically just jacking it. Like so many games on the Wii, you just jack it, just
Is there a
jack it
Game
for 4
Grumps?
hours.
Game Grumps. Sonic the Werehog.
Oh, Werehog,
Yeah, where Aaron's literally holding forward and wiggling the Wii remote and winning. Like, Dan films
He's
him.
like, this
Yeah.
is what I'm doing.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
this, I'm holding up and waggling this stick,
And
and
everyone was-
I'm doing it.
And everyone was excited because they thought they'd have to like stand up and move around and play video games. And we're playing Wii bowling. We start off standing up, we curve, and,
And
then,
then you're like,
and, then you,
"Woo."
and we're sitting down, lazing backwards.
Or
and
you
going
figured
like,
out the optimum, like you stand, spread leg, and just like move it super straight, and you get a strike, like
Just
9-9.
washing myself with a rag on the stick simulator. I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
It'll be interesting to see yet another iteration of Skyrim being the one on the Switch, but I'll bite on the motion controls. I'll pick it up, see how it goes, and Skyrim's very much a game where if I'm waiting for a flight for 4 hours, I would definitely play Skyrim in an airport or on a plane or something like that. It's a very much a game I'll pick up, play it obsessively for a week, and then go, cool, that was fun, and then do that again
I've
later.
relapsed a little bit for now. That'll do.
Yeah.
I also like that a little bit actually with Dead Rising 2 Case Zero. I played a bit of it. I'm like, man, I want to play some Dead Rising again. Oh. As soon as I started playing it, I'm like, oh, I remember where like 8 different weapons are in a city that I'm not even playing in. That game is crack for my mind. Like, it's ridiculous.
I do like those party games though. I think, yeah, we should play more of those. Party games.
Party games, like a good
I've got
dungeon
Duck
crawler,
Hunt.
like Castle Crashers or something.
Duck game on my laptop. I should bring it in one day.
Duck game?
There's like a little renaissance. That's the word I'm after. Of like Smash-esque like pixel art games where it's like, you know, one screen like map, and you know, you've got X abilities and you run around and
Like
kill
a
each other.
2D arena fighter sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Duck Hunt's by far the best version of those. Originally an Ouya game, right? The Ouya, right?
Duck Hunt is not an
No,
arena.
Duck game.
Duck game.
Oh, Duck game. Okay, sorry, I keep confusing those. Yeah.
I didn't know what an Ouya was either, so you might need to explain it to
It's
Ethan.
like an attempted like new console that struggled. It was made for like basically like a machine
I think I remember
exclusively
hearing about that,
like
yeah.
you know, indie developers. We have this little platform that's gonna like
Yeah,
be mostly
you don't
indie
have
games.
to try and sell to Sony or Microsoft or whatever.
And now it's kind of turned into like a Roku / like, you know, just a box for your Netflix and that kind of thing.
Oh.
But the Duck game, easily the best game that they come up with. You're essentially ducks and you're running around of various like maps, WarioWare style, like games over next map, games over next map, next map.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of fun weapons, guns, like suits of armor you can put on as these little pixel ducks.
The ability to quack.
The ability to quack, just always spam quack is my strategy.
Force damn quack.
No, like
Four stamp, 4 strength, leather,
Leather,
quack.
Yeah, you can quack and like
It's a game about ducks and
like there's like net guns and you can like shoot people into nets and then pick them up and throw them off the side.
What's the objective? Be the last
Just
duck.
be the last duck standing.
Okay.
And it keeps going until like someone hits 10 points or like. Well, it's actually done pretty well. It's got intervals, so like every X amount of games, it'll like here's the score. So like 10 points is the winning score, but if two people have 12 points at the interval, then they'll face off, sort of thing.
Right, okay.
But yeah, like there's the ability to play dead, which is always fun. Like you can pretend to be dead. And I like recently was playing with my nephews, and one of them outsmarted us all by like hiding in a tree. And like there's these excellent moments where you're like, I won. No wait, something's very wrong here. Where's this? Why are we not moving up?
You just hear.
Yep. It's a great time, but there's excellent. Like Towerfall Ascension, very similar concept. You've got like bow and arrow sort of deal.
We played a bit of that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Way back when you were living with Fraser. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a very fun game. See, like that's what I'm wanting to get into is like more games that aren't. It's like it's you and the person playing, and then computer or AI. Like I'm over every game I fucking play, either relying or getting fucked upon by other people in a multiplayer setting. Like it's all I've done for like the past 5 years, and it's cooking my brain. Like,
or at least a multiplayer setting where you're so far away where you can't hit them if they fuck you around.
Yeah, exactly. But like I want to experience a story again in games, because there was like points where like I was just so. I don't want to say addicted, although it's probably the right word, but like multiplayer gaming was so entrenched into my gaming psyche that when I would sit down with a game that I know has an amazing story, I just couldn't get into it because it wasn't getting me the ego and the twitch reflex. So I've been actively like working on going, no, you will fucking love this story and this game style. Sit down and fucking play it and just like enjoy a game. And
it's an interesting like way to think of it though. Have games stopped trying to be fun? Deep. I know this is a deep question, but is the main objective of a game still to be fun?
I think yes. Okay, so what I think is games are still objectively meant to be fun. It's just whether or not you've found the people who care enough to make that game fun. Where it's not a company thing where it's like, well, what's the bottom line going to be? How much profit are we going to make off this? You know what I mean?
I get the feeling in this like very multiplayer online heavy like industry these days that like they're not trying to have people have fun. They're trying to get that like grinder audience in. The people that are just going to sit there and play it regardless of whether they're enjoying themselves. And I think there's more weight placed on A, making money, of course, but B, like the balance of a game.
Yeah.
Fair.
I think you're not wrong in saying that. I think it's more just like the collective perspective of what gamers think is fun has changed over the last couple years.
Because here's a good example. Grand Theft Auto, right? Mm-hmm. Long series of games. One of those games is most fun.
When you're fucking around.
When you break the game. When you use cheats. You've got a jetpack. You're on top of the hospital.
Yeah.
You're flying. You use
run.
mods. You're flying cars.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
There's no objective. There's no progression.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But it's fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Darn right fun.
Yeah. Where you kind of make your own fun and your own games within the game itself.
And I'm.
Even then, that wasn't even a multiplayer thing. Speaking of the GTA rampages and shit, just using, sometimes not even just using cheats, it's like a challenge. It's like, alright, just with a shotgun, or just with whatever weapons you've got, how many stars can you last on a rampage, and for how long and shit. Do you remember that 5 or 6 star rampage I was on GTA 5? With my Banshee that I'd somehow wedged into a parking garage.
I do remember that, yeah.
So they were all just kind of funneling in through this one
Yeah.
bit. I literally stayed there until I expended pretty much all my ammo, which was a good 20 minutes.
So I feel like Rockstar gets it, right? I think everything they've added into GTA 5, other than obviously the primary guise of making themselves money by making people pay for new content every 2 months.
Okay, I thought about that. That's actually pretty fair.
Yeah,
the way they're doing it, they're saying, "Look, here's the download. Boom, you've got the download.
Oh, sure,
it's available to you."
They use that system to make money, not in a vicious, malicious kind of way.
Okay, yeah,
you're paying for what you get.
Yeah, that's fair. Rather than being like, "Oh, sorry, you can't even."
Their system, which is fairly unique to what they're doing, where they're here's this pack full of you get 6 extra planes to play with, and some new vehicles and a couple extra guns. That they do it in that mixed release. Delayed release format.
Yeah, and then, here's some cars you can afford in that release, and then if you want the good stuff before it goes, you got to pay 10 mil, and if you've only got one, well, the quickest way to do that is go down to EB and buy a 10 mil game card.
A cash card.
Yeah.
But everything they've added is has the very close secondary motive of just being fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to play with. Here's some new toys for your sandbox.
Yeah.
Like, there was a fucking game mode. It was like literally just like a multiplayer style you can spawn into where you're on top of one of like the toppest skyscrapers. It was just a flat thing, and they had a fucking Tron style game. So they had these like specific bikes for it that led out the light trail, and you were playing fucking Tron. And you can hop over it, and that's just fun.
Yeah, there's like little sumo matches, same deal on top
the sumo matches or the stunt races through the sky.
Stunt races
like
the mobile command center.
I haven't got that yet. I haven't tried that yet.
No.
Like, they've got like a big like truck that you can fit 4 people in. It has like mounted guns that everyone can control individually.
Jesus. So it's like a 4-person tank.
And then there's like it's probably got another name, but the Mad Max stuff that they added in with like ramp cars, and you can have. Like,
I have not played GTA
There's like
in a while.
there's the kit car. You can drive Kit now.
Yes.
And it like it can jump and has a parachute that comes out of the roof.
That's the thing I love about it as well. Like, as cool as all these things are and everything like that, you still have just as much fun in GTA by literally just going to the airport and stealing a plane, or fucking just doing whatever, or going to the army base and stealing a jet or a tank or whatever else, or like, you don't need to pay for it if you don't want to. You can still just have fun doing it. So I reckon,
It's gotta be more silly shit.
Yeah,
It's gotta be more silly stuff. I think
Games need to
everything
take
takes themselves a
themselves
little
less
seriously.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
Same,
was weird.
yeah.
Why do you guys just make out already?
Same. No. My body's a temple.
Yeah, I know. One wish to enter. Alright, enough of that.
I think while Rockstar has that inherent, they want to make money from it, sure, but you don't need to buy the cash cards. If you're a dedicated player who's been playing from day one, you will have the money to buy stuff on release.
If you do your dailies every day,
do your dailies, do some heists,
you love it. Yeah.
Do Criminal Masterminds once.
Yeah, I see. I don't even know what that is. Again, one of my favourite game types is slasher.
Oh, go on.
Dad, did you ever play a slasher game type in
GTA
GTA 5?
I did, actually.
I think it's around Halloween, so it might be coming back out soon.
And also new maps.
Yeah, exactly. Slasher was fun because it was essentially like, you had one team was the victims and the other team was the slashers. So for the first half of the game, the victims only had torches and they could only run. They can't do anything else, and the slasher's got a shotgun but can't see otherwise and moves a bit slower.
Yeah.
And then at exactly halfway, if there's any survivors left, they get shotguns. And then the slasher has to run as well, but he's still got his shotgun, so it's kind of like...
Right, okay, that's cool.
It's a good fun one.
That's very cool.
But a lot of tension, a lot of fun.
On the subject of getting money in that game, there's it's not quite an achievement, but there's like a mission or like a side quest that multiplayer. If you play through all of the heists on the hardest difficulty,
all in first person.
with the same party.
Oh yeah.
And go through all of them without dying, you get $10 million.
Yeah, I was trying to do that with a bunch of my friends, and our lives moved on. Because that's a tough one.
You learn the exploits. That's how you do that.
Yeah, and like these were a bunch of one of the guys has a kid now with his wife, and another guy's
James.
Yeah, there's a Hayes clan. Yeah,
I was like, who's got a kid? Oh, like one of my good friends, James. That's right.
Yeah, James, Tony, me, and Tim, we were the Hayes clan. The 4 of us were like, doing heist, sick. It's like,
clan.
Yeah, man, that's why I changed my name to Senior Duck Hayes. Represent. So once they stopped playing, I just stopped playing GTA because it's like, my boys aren't on anymore.
Yeah,
that's
very much how it works.
It's decidedly
a lot more fun with people.
Yeah.
Although on the subjects of games trying to be fun, we've been ragging on them a lot today. But Call of Duty, what's the most recent game?
Advanced Warfare
2?
Or the new one that's coming out?
No, the one that's most recently come out. I've lost track of them.
Advanced Warfare.
Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
Apparently they're like adding a mode called Gesture Warfare.
I saw that. Yeah, where you're just
you can finger gun people, and if
I can finger bang people online.
Yep.
You're gonna finger bang the shit out of some 14-year-old boys.
Finger gun people.
Yeah, you get little planes and shit like that.
And you can if you can like squash their head.
Yeah.
From perspective.
That's
so if you're far away, you can go like beep, and squish their head and they'll die.
That's
silly.
Cool.
That's
silly things.
Another thing on COD where it was like, what was it? It was like prop war or something like that, where you had to be like hide and be an object.
That
Looked fucking amazing.
It is fun. It's the direct rip-off of like 1,000 games on Gmod, but
hey,
if that's how you're gonna do it,
I never played Gmod, so
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't know. But and what a brilliant idea! Like,
yeah, well, why not?
be fun games is what we're trying to tell you essentially.
Silly is fun.
Silly is fun. It's good to have a great story. It's good to get wrapped up in it, caught in it, and everything. But you know what the key part of it is? Being wrapped up, escaping from the drudgery of real life. Because life sucks. That's why we play video games.
Because I can't drive an ambulance on a sidewalk in real life.
Yeah, I
need video games.
I can't fly a bus into the side of a bank in real life. Like, I could. It wouldn't go well for me. I can do that consequence-free in video games.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Just continue with that thread, please.
Yeah.
I think that's about a good place for a break on the Al-Qaeda
Yeah.
2017 podcast.
Yeah, alright, I'm tapping out. Bye!
We're back
Yeah.
indeed.
So yeah, another thing I haven't spoken about that I've been trying a bit of this week was a new hero came out on Heroes of the Storm, and I was even speaking 2 weeks ago about Ana being out, but Junkrat from Heroes of the Storm, from Overwatch has come to Heroes of the Storm rather, and he's only in the PTR at the moment, but the major bit of news that has come from that, I guess, is BlizzCon is up and coming to the point where group stages for the finals of the HGC starts next week or something like that. And Blizzard announced yesterday even that the Junkrat patch, which is a big, not only big patch because there's a new hero, but there's a lot of reworks, there's a lot of buffs and nerfs to strong healers and all that sort of stuff. A lot of changes that will shake the meta up, and Blizzard has announced that is what people will be playing BlizzCon on.
Hmm?
That's the BlizzCon patch. And a lot of the pros are quite up in arms about it because it's not on the tournament realm. They've got to be scrimming on the PTR realm at the moment. And Australian teams are fucked because we don't have an Australian PTR server. So they're scrimming for BlizzCon on 100 to 200 ping.
Whoa.
Like, and if they verse American teams who are already better than them and they've got 150 ping, it's just like, good luck Australia, have fun at BlizzCon. Like, and people are making the argument like, oh, it's better for the viewers because there's a shake-up. It's like, no, what's going to be better for the viewers is the best quality games between two teams who have had 2 months to prepare for this event and they know each other's ins and outs. So if, like, one hero is inherently a lot more strong and a team you know you're versing in the group stages is inherently strong on that hero, it changes your perception on how you draft against them completely. It changes everything. So people are quite justly pissed off. I would have been fine not seeing a single Junkrat game in BlizzCon, but it's like, it's the new hero and we want people to like it, so yeah. I think Blizzard...
So, what you're trying to say is Blizzard is the, like, meth head lady that lives down the street, right?
Oh, you got a diary?
That at least every Australian person knows.
Well, it is on the Junkrat topic of conversation,
yeah.
so... Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Crikey, mate. Bit of vaudeville coming at
We've got
you.
2 weeks to prepare for it. Get
Um,
off my lawn!
Arguably, though, that's the exact same debate that comes up, like, every Olympics. So it's like, well, fucking the USA has 60,000 competitors for this one sport versus some underdeveloped nation who doesn't have the same resources to prepare for it. You know what I mean?
That's always going to happen.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. Like, even if there wasn't a new patch, Australia would always be disadvantaged because we just don't have as many scrim partners.
Yeah.
And literally people show up to the HUC event, not like the HUC qualifiers for Australia. I have literally seen people verbalise that they're showing up. Previously, not so much now, but they previously would show up just because there was a 4th place prize pool. They had no intent to go into BlizzCon or a world thing. They could just get an easy 2K for playing like 4 tournaments a week because there's that little people playing in the ANZ scene.
Wow.
that's another rant I'll probably get into next week. We're probably going to do a BlizzCon pre-show next week, just talking specifically about Blizzard games. But for now, I'll just tie into what Junkrat does. If you haven't played Overwatch, Junkrat is...
well, first, he's Australian!
He's Australian!
Woo!
So he's got some talents named like Sticky Wicket and stuff like that, which is great. I've never heard an Australian unironically
Let
say
me
Sticky
blow
Wicket.
everyone who's ever played Overwatch's mind.
Yeah.
His bombs are cricket balls.
Yay! That's
Have you seen
awesome.
the cricket skin he's got?
No, but I bet that people haven't realised that his bombs are cricket balls yet.
Until previously, I don't think they would have. Yeah, but now there's when the Olympics,
He's got
Summer
the shot
Games.
put one and everything.
Now he's got an actual cricket skin with like a cricket
Oh,
batsman
okay, cool,
mask,
cool.
and he's wearing like the Australian
we need
colours.
to go the whole way. Give him like a Richie Beno-esque voiceover. Like,
Oh, that'd be... yeah!
lovely day for cricket.
Love it. Oh, he smacked that one for a 6.
Hurly dilly.
Holy dilly.
So yeah, Junkrat's pretty fun. If you haven't played him in Overwatch, he's got like a bouncing grenade launcher sort of thing. So in Overwatch you could like shoot that against walls or into rooms or whatever else. You can be pretty creative with it. He's got I think it's referred to as a concussion mine, which you place on the ground. You can blow. You can detonate it to damage your enemies and displace them, and also if you need to get somewhere else, displace yourself, so you can shoot yourself up onto higher buildings or away from danger or whatever
Which
like
on a
that.
new patch on Overwatch, fun fact, he's got 2 now.
He's got 2, and he's
You mean to
apparently
say he has...
He has 2 for Junkrat.
Oh yes, got him! Oh, got him, yes! Straight in the room like a cheap curry.
Oh, that'll be LBW for sure.
So he's a fun character. His third ability in Overwatch is you lay down this steel trap, and if people walk over it, it keeps them in place. In HOTS, though, it uses that pretty much that identical sort of kit, but you can fuck with people. So one of the talents he takes, or can take, is when you detonate a mine, it displaces enemies 30% further. So you can throw a trap in front of yourself, throw a mine at someone, and just blow them back to your fort or whatever. They hit the trap mid-air, so they're still moving, and then when they land, they're still rooted and stuff like that. He's a very fuck-withable character. You can just fuck with people. His alternative ult, in Overwatch, he's got the basic Riptire, which is like, you lose control of the Junkrat character per se, but you've got this rolling spike tire that you can detonate, people can shoot that. His alternative ult is called, you ride this fucking giant Moab bomb, essentially, and you just careen into people, blow up, and then 5 seconds later, you don't die, you go back to the base, and you ride that rocket back at 150% so you can get back into the fight.
Is Junkrat going to be HOTS Teemo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Essentially, he's just going to be a troll character. At level 20,
leave stuff like 20 minutes beforehand behind, and you happen to run into it, and it's a problem for you suddenly.
Yeah, it very much could be.
Oh, that's right, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. At level 20, he can get an upgrade to his ult, which makes it a 30-second cooldown, and at 16, you can take a talent, which instead of just shooting 1 grenade at a time, it fans it out to shoot 3 at a time, which has got about a 30-second cooldown as well. So you literally can like run at the enemy base or the enemy team, shoot like 12 grenades at them, just freak them the fuck out, go, fuck it, I'm on a Moab now and I don't die for this, fly into them. A sidebar, when you die as Junkrat, the grenades spawn. The Moab, when it simulates you dying, so you get the grenade as well. So you can like fuck up a squishy, Moab into them, do more damage, and the grenades drop. You can pretty much free trade. You go back to your base, and you've got 150% movement speed. By the time you get back to them, those are up again. So you can just go, that keep's gonna die, and just fucking throw shit at it, and just keep going back to it, and they can never trade into you for it. It's fucking crazy.
Plus, I imagine you could just like enter the middle of the team and then concussion everyone away from each other.
Yeah, and
just, hi guys, bye!
Yeah.
I'm over here, you're over there, I'm off.
Yeah,
Time to
exactly.
rocket into you.
Yeah. Or even stuff like, if one of their squishier, lower health characters steps out of position, you can launch them into your team without putting yourself in any danger. It's great.
Wow. And root them to the spot, yeah.
Yeah, and root them to the spot, and then...
very fuckwithable, as you
very
say.
Very fuckwithable, and in what I was saying before about him not being in BlizzCon, I wish he came out, like, a month earlier so teams could practice him and really bring him to BlizzCon, because he would be fun to watch. Like, watching some really, really skilled pros pull out some fucking amazing combos with that would be very cool. But yeah, that's been HOTS for me. I'll talk a lot more about it next week and go actually into depth into teams and who they're matching up against in the pre-BlizzCon show. But yeah, that's pretty much been the world of me from HOTS. I've been doing some business stuff with it, like I talked about last week. And
news to come?
News to come. It should be a couple weeks after this recording date, so you'll probably be like, yeah, Aaron, we know you're doing this. And it's like, sorry, I'm really bad at editing videos.
By the time this comes out, it'll probably be
it'll probably be in motion.
The year is 3027.
We have released
the podcast has finally been released.
But yeah, that's been my week of gaming. Near Automata, HOTS, but getting more frustrated with HOTS, so kind of going away from that. Cuphead, and I'll probably play a bit of Destiny 2 on PS4 to see if it's even worth picking up on PC.
Cool.
If the inherent game is shit, just being able to use a mouse and looking prettier isn't going to make it better.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly.
And
they immediately made you eat those words.
Stop it.
But yeah, is there anything else that you guys didn't touch on in the first half?
Yeah, it kind of prompted me talking about Guitar Hero a little bit earlier when we were just kind of shooting the shit before we fully started the second half. I was playing a little bit of Rayman Origins
that's right.
recently, which is just beautiful. I love a good Rayman game. This has the trollability of like, you know, New Super Mario Brothers, Shovel Knight, those sort of games where if you're playing cooperative with another person, they can pick you up and chuck you off the edge, no problem.
I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Co-op game.
But like, it's just so smooth. At any point, person can just press start and they just add it in. And like with the bubble thing, it's kind of like if they get fucked up, they can move their bubble to you on a safe spot, and then you can hit them and respawn them. Like it's very smooth, very cool. But the thing that got me talking about Guitar Hero on it was music in video games. I think is so very important. It's like it's the same with movies. Like if there's a big epic boss battle, for instance, just picture any epic big boss battle that you've ever done, your favorite one, and picture how much less epic it would be if there wasn't a sick score in the background. So some awesome music playing, some awesome sound effects, everything like that. But like the music it sets the tone for pretty much what you're looking at.
I agree.
And I really, really like how in the Rayman games, depending on where you're walking or what you're doing, it adds to the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's like this pipe worm kind of thing that helps in one of the levels that helps you travel between spots. And as you're walking on it, this pan flute solo kind of starts playing and everything like that.
That's cool. That's right. Yeah.
So or like, you know, there'll be buttons where you jump on a button and it makes this musical stave come out with these birds that come on it, and the soundtrack will change through that. Wow. I love that sort of shit. Like
attention to detail in sound design can be fucking make or break in a game.
Absolutely. And I think we talked about this not on the podcast or anything, but ages ago, where this a few years ago now, where this generation's epoch of gaming is lighting design. We nailed lighting pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
Lighting is getting fucked, and now sound design is like, it's not only like accurate representations of what, like the crunch of gravel underfoot, or like
directions with sounds or surround sound so accessible.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah. The amount of times I've been playing like Battlefield or something, and I've only known that there was an enemy behind me because I heard on a 5.1 surround sound system that their footstep fell over here, and then I was like, what? And then saw the shadow on that wall. So lighting and sound.
Well, any pair of headphones comes with eight-way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Audio now.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, But, you know, having that lighting and sound to a
Right.
point where it's, you know, such an integral part of the game, that's really cool to me. So it's really nice to see, even with a simplistic graphic style as Rayman Origins, it's essentially 2.5D or...
Yeah.
I'd say 2D, but it changes
2D.
perspectives and at
2D
points.
is like 3D cell shading.
Not even. I'd say Rayman 3D, the
Well,
HD.
2.5D implies 3D models on like a 2D platform.
Okay, yeah, so 2D then.
Yeah, it is 2D.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Funny.
but
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no, but just saying that, you know, even with the simplistic graphical, just the attention to detail in a game like that, like, it's just beautiful. That's why I can never hate Ubisoft, because it's like,
You guys, you got us
guys,
this
you got me with a great soundtrack and your cutesy characters. Same with EA, it's like, all your microtransactions, but the soundtrack is so good and what I'm racing to.
Well, 2 points I want to bring up. First, you should play Fury then. And
yeah.
Able to take-
It's a lovely game.
Probably, I enjoy that. I will put that soundtrack on just to listen to.
If you can get by like a real Xbox arcade aesthetic, like visually, it's great.
Is it
Have
great?
you seen the shit I've been playing recently?
Yeah, I think you would. I think it would be right up your alley. I really think you should check out Fury because every boss battle has a different theme, a different track to
I
it.
think I've heard of Fury.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's a boss rush game. So everything
Okay.
everything in the game is bosses. You can shoot and you can slash a sword. That's what you can do.
And dodge.
And yeah, there's a dash and dash invulnerability and whatnot. But all of the bosses, their gimmick is like their song. So they have a song playing like in the soundtrack, and everything they do like is to the song.
Excellent.
So their projectiles are to the beat.
That's so far
Like,
up my alley.
yeah.
I can't believe I'm not talking about this
Yeah,
yet.
and there's like all their clangs and like bashes are to the beat.
Sick.
Yeah,
Okay,
you would really, really like it.
It's one of those games where you can just kind of sit down for half an hour and it's like a boss will be half an hour. You
Cool.
sit down and you play a half
Alright.
hour boss fight, and they're all unique in their own way.
Sick. Far out.
It's a very, very
Sounds
cool game.
intense.
And also, I had another point on sound design that I was going to talk about, but it's just completely evaded me.
I'm a big fan of soundtrack set pieces. I think that like it's not dissimilar
Yeah,
to
I
what
don't
we
mind a
found in
good
Nier.
set piece.
Like the one you found in Nier when you enter when you come into the city after the desert, where that
Yeah.
music started piping up.
Yep.
Like the Snake Eater is another good example of that.
Alright, what's your guys' favourite set piece in any game?
What do you mean by set piece? I've never probably known what that term is.
something that's designed to be a moment for that music, if that makes sense. So
Okay.
in
No, well,
in
not just
Metal-
a
in Metal
musical
Gear-
set piece though. Sorry, I was just talking about favourite set piece. And
generally
yeah. So a set piece is something like where you don't necessarily control the action on screen, but like it's a thing that it's not a cutscene per se.
Right.
well
Yeah.
in that sense, what I'm thinking of probably isn't a set piece, but Red Dead Redemption leaving America and coming back to the farm. So there's the first one where you need to bail to Mexico, and they have like Jose Gonzalez playing, and it's just like
I've never played Red
it's
Dead.
it's like a 2.5-minute song, and it's just one like ride your horse to this song
sick. Okay,
into
cool.
Mexico, and then there's the end where spoiler again for the 10-year-old, 15-year-old game.
I was about to say, but yeah.
But,
He hasn't played it, so maybe avoid this.
But there's like when you return back to your origin. And
yeah.
there's like a big like horse ride, and it's very emotional because it's like what you've been building up to the game for, and the things that you're coming back to are very important. And then, again, it's just one long horse ride set to music,
Sick. Okay. Yeah.
and like there's nothing's going to distract you because it's like it's the final, for the story.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
you're,
Cool.
you're like galloping along on your horse as quick as you can because you want to get to this funnel in the story, and the music's playing, and you're like
One of my favourite set pieces of all time has got to be the introduction to Rapture in Bioshock.
wow, that's beautiful.
When you first get into the submissile and you're just plunging down, and there's this little video playing, and like you can kind of look around and watch the depth indicator. It's going 10,000 leagues, 11,000 leagues, 12,000. Going down to 20,000 leagues, and you're just like, okay, this is fucking where the fuck, and it's just concrete, bedrock sort of stuff, and you're like, okay, so what the fuck is, and then there's bubbles everywhere, and you're like, okay, so what the fuck, and all of a sudden there's like, you kind of still kind of going down, following a sort of track, and there's like, you can see all these fish and everything floating everywhere, and you're like, this is pretty cool, like, nice, okay, well, under the water, where's, like, what's my, then Rapture just appears, at like, over a rise or whatever else, and you're just like, oh Oh wow!
And it's got that real distinct like visual style where there's the billboards and
Yeah.
of an era.
Yeah, and you're like, I feel like I'm in a city, but it's so obviously underwater. Like, and it's got all that really retro 50s
Like,
bubble.
There's a gimmick here.
Yeah,
Like, what's the gimmick?
Yeah,
What's
and you're
going
just
on?
like, oh man, I just want to get in there and figure out what's happening. This is nuts. Like, and seeing like all the big daddies and everything like working on stuff, and you're like, so they're just construction guys. That's fine. You go right ahead, and then not even knowing, like, for the first time you play it, obviously, not even knowing that they're going to be such cunts.
I think my favourite part, and it's going to tie into what I was going to say before I remembered my point.
Yeah.
Music in video games is not even just like the score or thematic or a boss fight, but going back to the games we used to play, like Burnout and stuff like that, really good EA soundtracks, because they had the money to throw licensing at it. And just like a lot of my adolescent music taste came from Burnout. It's where I discovered Fall Out Boy, Bullet for My Valentine, Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, Billy Talent. And I guess what I was going to say is my favourite set piece. It's not really a set piece, but kind of is just driving through the hills on my bike or my car on GTA and just flicking through the stations and just like listening to some fucking Wham while I'm fucking like driving that to me like is just
Bootsy
like
Collins
Bootsy Collins and like discovering new music. Good old Rick James. Discovering new music through games because the AAA titans can license it is always been really interesting to me. And just discovering new genres that I never thought I would like before. Like, I never thought I liked 80 retro pop until I played GTA 4. And
then I was like, oh,
I really like this sort of stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Give me more synth, please.
Yeah. But I guess kind of, if we're talking more structured set pieces, you probably both would have seen it in the escapades of when I played Devil May Cry. But when you're fighting... God, I've played that game so much and I don't even know the main boss's name. But you're going into save the love interest in the club that the main boss's wife lover thing owns. And it's all set into a club, but it's like, because you're in limbo, it's all kind of like moving around and demonic and stuff, but like the platforms, like around the sun, there'll be like speakers going to like the theme song and stuff like that.
Cool.
And like it looks like a dance floor and stuff like that. And it all ties together really well, but it feels very different from the rest of the game, which is traditionally very just like monastery-esque or like urban sort of environments. It's a completely different sort of style to the rest of the game, and it feels really good.
I think that game got a bad rap because of what it wasn't. But you know what I mean?
Because it wasn't.
A lot of the diehard Devil May Cry fans were a bit disappointed with the changes that it made in the main character.
Dante's a edgy prat.
Yeah, like he's not likable.
No, he's not. No.
But I think that game excels in unique visuals and soundtrack.
Definitely. Yeah.
Like the TV presenter stage and stuff like that.
Yes, yeah, exactly, stuff like that. Like
it's like a big head in the middle of a room basically, and there's like news flashes going past in the room, and
you go into it's like Dante is a sexual deviant and is a known terrorist, and it's like switching between phases of the boss fight, and it's like from the perspective of
Dante doesn't wash his hands after the bathroom.
Yeah, like, these are all actual things that are like said in it. But it's being shot from like a news helicopter and stuff like that, so it's got like the recording symbol and like the grainy stuff and like that.
That's right, and the platform up to the boss fight is like filmed as like a breaking news story, and
as
you're jumping from platform to platform, it's like filmed from the perspective of a helicopter, and there's like a little bar underneath, like Dante is an asshole.
Yeah.
You're
like
the
this just in.
You're on the telenews ticker thing.
This just in. Dante cries like a little girl.
Dante sucks his thumb. I would agree that game got a bad rap because there was 4 before that that had a established storyline, and this was just a complete same basic concept of being a Seraphim and Dante and Virgil all being characters, but they're not. They're different characters in a different universe.
People are in love with that lore as well.
They were very much in love with that lore. And I like, you don't have to try and convince me. I fucking adored that game. But yeah, it really had a good sound design, and I've talked about it before, and like the most exhilarating parts of my gaming experience were like where you get the super special sadistic when you get like the perfect combo, and it just
Was
like,
that on the cast? That
no, that was off cast. That we were just speaking about it.
God, yeah. So we're having a conversation off mic.
Was it off mic?
A while ago, perhaps.
I can't even remember it. Maybe
We
no. It was just
was?
when we were doing this too, I think.
Ultra combo. Have you played Killer Instinct?
Oh, have I played Combo
Like,
Breaker?
I've
got Killer Instinct 2 on my Xbox. Fucking indie free titles. Gimme!
Yeah, we're talking about like the real hype moments in games, and the first time I played like the most recent, like the reboot of Killer Instinct, I didn't know what it was. I like fighting games, so I was like, oh, yeah, this is a fighting game. I want to know as much about like this unit, like the whole spectrum of them as I can, so I can talk about it with other people that like it. So they were playing Killer Instinct for the first time, and like accidentally trigger like the end combo, where like, he just kind of like goes off on your own. Speaking of sound design, the sound design on these things are great because every hit has like a different note, and the level soundtrack changes when you hit this like end combo. So it's basically like when they're on low health, you hit one specific combo,
A finish him,
and
if you will.
and it just goes off on like a big fucking massive combo with all of his like 50 plus hits.
Ultra.
And it's just like hands off the controller.
Yes.
And so like this soundtrack's going, it's like do 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 dead, and then the announcer just goes Ultra Combo. And as I said to Arent, I literally threw my controller in the air and just double fists like up in the air, going, yeah.
That was like, I don't know if you heard me before, but that was like when I thought I beat Heavy Weapon, and then it's just like, wait, we've received more intel. Looks like they're coming back, so you're gonna have to do it again. No. No, I'm not. Goodbye.
I'm not your hero.
Yeah, I'm not the hero you need. I'm the hero you want, and no.
It's not gonna be me, sorry. Some other sound design in games that I've been really appreciating was, like, a big moment for me was when I got my first pair of good gaming headphones and I was playing Battlefield 3, and just hearing, like, you're in, like, a sniper outpost and just hearing the clang of a sniper bullet hitting that and it's scaring the shit out of you, or, like...
It's a big deal in PUBG too.
Big deal in PUBG.
Because it's a big old map.
Big old map.
And you hear a gunshot, you're like,
Is that at me? What direction is that? Like...
Yeah, like
West
Battlefield or
450
something.
we're kicking off.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, no, I hear the counterfire, let's try and flank them and stuff like that. Sound design in that game is very, very important. But then they fudge it, like, when you're like, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but when you're spectating one of your friends who's down in squads, the sound can come from the opposite direction. So it's just like, oh, shots 540, it's like, no, that was at 360, it's because of the bug, or it might be intentional.
Yeah, access.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't go back down into that.
Yeah, well, you can excuse problems.
Because it's early access, yeah.
Then it's jingle.
Only if they're fixed. And don't get stuck in development hell. Daisy.
I think that was different because Daisy struggled for so long and was like, it's coming out soon, I swear. And then people brought out H1Z1. It's like, oh, this is what we wanted Daisy to be. Ooh. And then people were like, oh, we want all this stuff. And then H1Z1's like, no. And then PUBG's like, well, then we'll do it and make so much money. And then I actually found out that H1Z1 had like a board meeting or something where they were like trying to incorporate like, or they did incorporate like attachments and weapon attachments to be more like PUBG. And the player base was just like, no, this isn't like what your game is, and you had an opportunity to, but you're not, and you're trying to be something that you aren't.
Battlefield?
Battlefield, what?
Sound design in Battlefield?
Oh, no, it was good, yeah, no.
It was good. It was good, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I didn't really
Quote
have
of
much more
the year. Battlefield, the sound design was good.
Yeah, I too have a soft spot for sound design in game, be it just like, damn, this game's got a banging playlist, or like, this game's sound makes me feel something. I think we were talking about it last week about our favourite games. Like, I would still get that same childlike sense of wonderment every time I boot up Banjo Kazooie and that theme song starts.
Yeah.
And the it's
Donkey Kong rap.
Yeah, exactly. Like all those fucking oh god, his name escapes me. He did GoldenEye, Banjo, and Donkey Kong. He was on Grunts.
Oh yeah, you told me about him. Yeah.
Did you play it as well?
Not Danny Baranowski. Kurt Granthope. He also did
Grant Kirkhope.
Grant. What did I say?
Kurt Granthope.
Grant Kirkhope. He also did Rabbids Mario Kingdom Battle.
Yeah. You can
so tell. He because he's admitted in the guest grumps that he did that. He will blatantly take something he's done or someone else has done and just go, well, I'm using that now. And you can hear it in fucking Rabbids Mario Kingdom Battle. It's like, that's Frizzy Peaks, like, melody. Like,
yeah, he does like the main Mario tagline, like da 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 da.
Yeah,
it's like
seriously.
The thing I like about the way he approaches it though is it's like, because of all the gibberish that is in the games he makes, it's just him modulated a lot.
Yeah.
So like if one of the bosses gets hit, you hear like, but it's him going, ooh.
Yeah.
And then rocking with the sound design of it. Like,
Yeah.
Same with Worms, actually. There was a period where I was super into Worms. I'm like, right, that's
a period where everyone's been super into Worms.
Well, yeah, true. And Worms have been into you.
Why did I eat it?
Combantrum! But no, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make my own sound files and like make them Worms voices. So I like did the Windows media recorder and everything like that and sped it up a couple 100% or whatever else. So I had to talk really slow. So by the end of it kind of sounded like this. But yeah, so that was my little foray, I guess, into game sounds.
There was a feature on Saints Row, the 4? Saints Row 4. That's Space One.
Wait, they go to space?
Like, superhero.
That game gets so weird, dude.
They lean way into like how ridiculous it is.
Oh, okay. Cool.
There's a certain cutoff point where it's like, we're not GTA.
Yeah,
we're doing us. We're silly.
We're not GTA. We're not Crackdown. We're just going everywhere.
Our thing is being silly and fun.
Yeah.
So they made a really silly fun game.
To wit, I think Saints Row 3, which I got the special edition of, gave you a 6-foot dildo pole to go and hit people with.
In game or out of game?
In game. In game.
There's a pre-order bonus.
Right, no, actually,
we'll get 6-foot dildo pole.
Out of game, you got a little AK-47 ice cube tray.
That's right, I remember that.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
But in Saints Row 4, there's a feature where, you, like, when you're creating a character, there's like 4 preset voices, and then like one specifically attributed to, I can't remember, a voice actor, or like from which you can do pitch modulation. So cool. Basically, like. It's just like a regular like guy, like, I'm the boss now. But I modulated it to a point where my gigantic black man is armed balls now.
Like, excellent. That's cool.
I even really liked playing like San Andreas on PC, and you could get your like media folder back in the day of like all your songs that you'd have on your iPod Shuffle or some shit like that. Drop them into the GTA folders, and then there was a special radio station
a tape or something.
A special radio station you could switch to, and it would have all those songs in there, which was fucking cool.
It was awesome.
Which Spotify has completely done away with now by you can just listen to Spotify while you're playing games.
That's true.
At least on Xbox. I don't know about PlayStation.
We tried it previously, but this was when Spotify was like, so Spotify's a thing. So I imagine they would have done that.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
well,
all right. Well, speaking of games that have a good soundtrack,
yeah. Oh, Need for Speed Underground
2, Underground 2.
Yeah.
To the window. No, one was as
one.
Yeah.
369 down your fire. Suck it to me one more time. Get low.
And he's like, I could never be this cool.
Yeah. I didn't even know neons were a thing before I got this game.
The fuck's a decal?
fuck out of
NOS
it.
doesn't refill itself? Ooh.
Yeah, when I got in my car and hit the NOS and it didn't refill itself.
Oh, that's it. I'm 3 seconds from the starting line. What just happened?
The police caught up to me.
Yeah.
I blew my engine because all I did was just give it a fuck ton of torque.
In first?
Yeah. Yeah, that had great sound design. What else was that? Like, oh, great soundtracks even.
Well, I like the soundtrack of Danganronpa V3.
Ah!
What is Danganronpa? Because I've heard you talk about it, but I have no
talked
idea.
about it, I believe, episode 1 where we talked about what's coming up. It came out on the 26th of September.
Okay.
I picked it up on the 28th of September.
Yeah.
And by the 8th of October, I logged 55 hours and finished the story. It's a good book. It's a good book that you can't put down.
Yeah.
As it probably got left on at least once or twice. As well.
Yeah.
But
snoozing by the delicate glow of the
Yeah.
television.
It understands what it is, and the soundtrack leans into that in the very same way. It's a very quirky, silly soundtrack.
Okay, cool.
The music's legitimately good, but sets good tones. Mono Kuma's theme is always fun. That's and the main theme is amazing. The main theme for this is up there with top 10 best anime themes all time.
Cool.
Click here for shitty AMV that I made.
There's at least 5 Naruto ones with Rise Against on it.
Aoi, aro, sora.
Aoi, aoi, ao, sara.
Is that fucking... the 16-bit or 8-bit fucking Mega Man.
Oh, that's a sick 8-bit themes.
Oh, I love it. Gucci is my jam.
Or the Grass Hills Zone on Sonic. That's a fucking another.
Yeah. Or fucking, what was it? Excite Bike.
Oh, the Kirby theme. The Kirby theme's great. Oh
yeah.
You're like, I'm a little fucking Kirby.
Yeah.
But no, Dangan V3.
Yes, sorry.
That's fine. We go off track all the time. This is the going off track podcast.
Yeah,
but
generally if someone has a point for going off track, I just come in for a little while.
But no, it doesn't do much differently. It's very much the same that it used to be. It's go around, find clues as to who.
What type of game is it?
It's
point and click,
visual novel / point and click / detective game.
Okay.
So it's part Phoenix Wright, part.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it
what half of Steam seems to fucking be now?
There's a lot of those games.
I go on Steam, I'm like, I want to find a new game.
Yeah.
Oh, I played this one that's kind of like a visual novel, so it's all get recommended now.
Yeah.
It's I want to play dating simulator where every girl seems to be named Sakura for some reason. It's is that the only Japanese lady name?
I don't think that, when I was in Japan, I never met a woman named Sakura.
They're all Sakura now. So yeah, I get to enjoy that when I go to Steam now. But so it's essentially the setting is you're high school students brought into an encased situation in a school. So you're in your school, everything's locked, you can't get out, you're fucked.
Cool.
And you're forced to stay there, and the only way to get out is by killing someone, not being caught. And if you're successful in doing that, everyone else dies, but you get out. So the scenario is basically there's been a murder, we need to figure it out so we don't die, and then you go around, look for clues for who's caused the murder. And,
cool. Okay.
And obviously the killer's gone to elaborate lengths to hide the fact that they did it.
Yeah.
So there's a big breadcrumb trail of events that you need to try and follow around the school to figure out the origin of the dead person.
Nice.
And then, so that's half of the game. It's going around, talking to people, looking at the crime scene, picking up clues. The second half is a class trial. So you get put, yeah, right. It's full of that stuff. Don't worry. Where you get put in your courtroom, and there's a big circle, and the crux of it is these discussions.
Objection.
Yeah. It's, like I said, it's part Phoenix Wright. Everyone's kind of going on a big conversation where they're all accusing each other and stuff, and you have to wait for the contradictory phrase and go well, actually no, I found this thing that disproves you.
Sick.
And there's lots of mini games, there's a hangman mini game where you have to try and figure out more specifically what the problem is. So it's not just like Phoenix Wright, that's wrong.
Okay,
Like, because I know it's wrong because I found it out. It's more like you also have events where it's kind of, wait, this thing's still unexplained. And then you have to think, what's this thing? What have I seen? Or what are the links between the two clues that I found?
So it doesn't hold your hand in the detective.
No, it definitely doesn't.
Pay attention.
It's you. Yeah, you pay attention. It's something that, like, if you play a case, and these things can go on for like 3 or 4 hours, in between like going around in the crime scene, talking to everyone, getting all the clues together, then getting taken to the class trial. Like, they're so long that they haven't like a set intermission point. Jesus. Where they say, like, this is the intermission now.
Please go pee before you burst your blood.
But like, you need to pay enough attention that, like, I would recommend anyone that wants to, like, have fun doing it, play through the whole case at once.
Yeah.
Because you get to moments like, I've tried it, I was like, this is new for me, I forget. I forget.
So you actually need a notepad, not in-game, but, like, to write down.
Well, they give you your own, like, little notepad full of like clues and descriptions of them and stuff like that.
Oh,
that you can go through.
Yeah, but even still, it's one of those. It's kind of like watching Game of Thrones or something, getting super into it, and then having a month break. So you're getting back into it, and it's like, oh, Tyrion did this to that guy, and you're like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
but one thing it does very, very, very well is reward hard work.
Oh,
so if you once you like, it's an effort to like, it's a mental effort to get to the end of each case, and you have your like culprit now. Yeah. And they progress the main story at the end of each case, and they give you these beautiful animated like cutscenes of executions of the culprit.
Whoa!
Well, because it's like very quirky. They all have like gimmicky like executions at the end of it. So like so
it's kind of like the Dead Rising psychopath sort of.
So, like, I think I described on the first episode, so I'll try and pick a different one. The first episode was the baseball one, right?
Yeah.
That's right,
Where, like, the ultimate baseball star gets pelted with, like, 1,000 baseballs, and then just is a fucking bloody heap, and everyone's kind of like, oh, man, this is real. Like,
we just killed someone.
Like, our actions have consequences today. But, it's another good one. Like... Like, you know, the Ultimate Warrior Lady will just be, like, swarmed by fighting, and she'll think she has a chance because she's the Ultimate Warrior Lady, but doesn't realise that, like, it's a never-ending horde.
Okay. And so it's, like, fitting ends to...
Final Destination-esque.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And, like, there's one in the recent game, it's not a spoiler or anything, it's cool. But
I'd be lying if I said I was going to play through these games.
But it's absolutely true. I know what you guys like, and these aren't for you. But like, there's one that is like feels.
I didn't mind Phoenix Wright.
Feels like personal responsibility for saving everybody.
Nope. So count me out.
So like, her death is like she has to climb a rope of thorns to get out, and then like the top is a false exit.
Oh,
it's
like ultimate soul game.
It varies from silly to like real fucked.
Oh boy, okay.
But like then you have other scenarios where there's these giant fucking machinations. But no, it's good. It knows what it is. Does what it does well. A couple new like features in these cases. There's like the lie option, so you can there's some situations where you have to lie. So we're at a full stop here. Everyone's convinced it's this person. I have a feeling it's not. So I need to lie to kind of shift the blame and keep this discussion going, otherwise we're all fucked.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't actually uncovered everything here, but everyone's convinced it's this person, so I have to be like, no, I totally saw him. It couldn't have been him. So people keep talking about...
Right.
You know it's not him, but you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then there's situations where there's, like, it's gimmicked as the backdoor answer. Where you might have the evidence, and the statement might be in there, but you've watched it this conversation a couple times. You're like, I don't know, I can't figure it out. I'm just gonna lie. I'm just gonna lie about like what I think it is. So there's like options where lying is like a bit of a bitch move to escape.
Right. Okay.
Right. That's cool.
But that like changes, like makes the whole swing in the conversation.
Yeah.
And there's like these moments where you tell lies, and the other characters are kind of like. I got a feeling about you, like, you're like,
wait, no, it wasn't me, it was definitely him, but I mean, was it?
But, ends in a very polarizing fashion that some people hate, some people love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
People have gone as far to say as if you enjoyed the first two games, don't play this one. Whoa. Because of the implications the ending of this one has.
Whoa.
It's that kind of thing.
Whoa. Whoa.
Just kind of going on to what you were saying about, like, I guess, lying and its impact in games, I've recently picked up the Walking Dead Telltale series. And
by the way, play it.
Yeah,
Those people are wrong. Play it. If you like the first two, play it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to leave it on the note of don't play it if you like the first two. So
Yeah,
I want to leave it on the note of I disagree with those people.
You need to form your own opinion.
Find out for yourself.
Like, if you're going to say, all these people said I wouldn't like it, but you haven't played it yourself, you might fucking love it, it might be your favourite game of all time, just fucking play it. Like,
if you like it, you'll get, 8 to 20 hours of the same thing that you liked, and then a moment at the end that at least leaves you feeling something.
Well, isn't that like any game, really? If you don't like it, don't play it.
or if you don't know, play it, make your own.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
But what I was saying about Walking Dead. So in The Walking Dead, it starts with you're a professor at a college and you catch your wife sleeping with the senator, so you murder both of them.
Hot.
I feel like they really underplay that.
They really do.
But I also feel like it's to the note of did he though?
Yeah,
he's allegedly.
Okay.
It's accused of him.
So you've been accused of killing the senator and your cheating wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you've been trialed and you're actually getting taken to prison in the start of the game. A zombie steps in front of the road and the cop is turning around to talk to you. He hits him, you crash.
Speaking of set pieces, I think the first 5 minutes of that game is great.
It is. It's
because you're
very
sitting
good.
there cuffed in a car, having a conversation with this officer, and you're kind of sitting there and he's talking, you're having banter, and your conversation options are banter as well.
Yeah.
It's really nonchalant, and then a cop car speeds past in the other direction, and then fucking 6 cop cars speed past in the other direction, then a helicopter and 200 cop cars speed in that direction.
Yeah.
Or The Last of Us set piece going back.
Yeah, that takes a cake. That first 10 minutes, 15 minutes is
unbelievable.
Some of the most emotions.
Better than the rest of the game, and honestly, in my opinion.
It was.
Yeah.
You couldn't have the whole game at that pace.
Definitely not.
One shot scene in a film, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But going back to lying, so basically you're in this you start off at if you've watched the show, you do go to Herschel's farm. It's a bit different. It's not all the same characters, but it's set in that universe. So you're in Herschel's farm, and when you first get there, you have this kid, Clementine. Basically, you stumble into her backyard. Her parents are away, and the babysitter has turned, so she's been hiding in a treehouse. So you're like, well, I'm taking care of this kid now. And then you get to this farm. I think your leg's fucked up, or someone's leg's fucked up, or something. Your leg's fucked up. So Herschel's helping you out, and he's like, oh, well, what was happening before the where were you before this? How did you find the kid? And it's oh, I'm not a kid, I'm the babysitter. And then if you lie badly,
35-year-old black male babysitter.
Yeah, well, it's better than 35-year-old male who's a quote unquote convicted murderer with a small child. That looks a lot worse. So in my mind, I was like, I'm lying through my teeth. I don't want people to know I'm a murderer.
But he's obviously instantly suspicious there. He's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. And then the next day you're helping him around the farm, and he basically if you lie poorly, he straight up comes up to you and says, I know you were lying. And you're like, no I wasn't. And he's just I don't care, but if you're going out in this world, you need to learn to lie better. And it's just really interesting, instead of just going, oh, you lied, what's this? Oh, this is how it turns out. It's really interesting how it goes, oh, you lied, and you're probably going to need to lie more, so
learn how to do it.
Learn how to do it. And that whole game's really interesting. So I think you start heading back to your old hometown, and you end up hunkered down in your family's pharmacy, but you don't want to let everyone know that it's your family's pharmacy, because then they'll clue into the fact that you're a murderer, blah, 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 blah. And there's this one chick who is a really good shot and has been saving people left, right, and center and all that sort of jazz. And you're like, yeah, you're pretty cool, I want you with me for the rest of the game. And then when you're just rummaging around the pharmacy, she just comes to you and says, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a reporter, I know that you murdered someone, and if you fuck me over, I'll tell everyone. And it just creates this really interesting dynamic. It's fuck, do I want to keep the group alive as best as possible by keeping her alive and her killing more zombies, or is it in my best interest to oh no, she got eaten by a walker, and it's just fuck, do I kill her to protect me and Clementine, or do I out myself and protect the group, but maybe get me and Clementine kicked out of it. And Clementine's voice actress is amazing. She gets this ability, I don't know who it is or how old she is, but she somehow harnesses this ability to make you instantly care about her.
Sick. That's so hard with child voice actors.
She's such a good voice actress.
Clem's easily the most likable kid in a video game.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just instantly from the first scene that I interacted with Clementine, it's like, nope, it's me and Clementine. I don't care if we're in a bigger group, it's the group and then me and Clementine. Like, I will kill anyone that tries to fuck with Clementine. I don't care about myself, but that kid is getting through this alive. And the voice actress does such a fucking good job of it.
I'm glad you're going into it with that mentality because you are set for a motherfucking ride.
I'm only about 4 hours into it, but
there are things that are going to happen to you.
Oh, I'm
you are just not going to be ready for.
No, I don't think I am. But I've been really enjoying that. I watched a bit of the Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale, and I'm like, that's cool. But I think this specific zombie apocalypse end of the world really suits the whole quick decisions on your feet and how that impacts a group sort of scenario and their perspective on you. It just works really well. I think it's another game that you would really like, Ethan. And it's just a lot of like escape room-esque searching through rooms.
I've played some of the fairy tale.
Wolf Among Us?
Wolf Among Us.
I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, played through first chapter.
So you know how it works.
Yeah. They're great. The only thing I don't like about them is sometimes you have to make decisions within dialogue, and I'm like, no, but I want to find out the rest of what he says. Like, I like knowing the stuff.
But that's where it's good because you
have. Here's the thing though, like you can interrupt him, which you have to.
I
to
know,
get shit
but
out.
I don't want to interrupt because I want to let
him. If you don't say anything, he just totally bitched you out. Like,
I know it's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
That's kind of the point.
I know it's tricky.
They play on your emotions very, very
well. I play video games to escape, and I don't have to make these hard decisions.
I don't have to make
weigh upon my soul.
I get that from my memory. Walking Dead was one of their earlier games, correct?
There's a few
before.
Season 1 was their like breakout game.
Yeah. My only big issue is in like the first couple episodes, and it dissipates pretty quickly. It's kind of just like holding your hand so you figure out how this style of game works. But so you're in the cop car, it crashes, and you're cuffed in the back, and the police officer's presumed to be dead. And it's just like, it's a case of show don't tell, ironic because they're called Telltale games. But it's just like, like in your mind you're like, I need to break out of this cop car, so you like move towards the window and start thinking about kicking it, and then your character openly says to himself, I need to break out of this cop car. And it's just like, fucking duh. Like, there's a few like really janky ways they explain things, but you forget that instantly as soon as you've got 5 seconds to choose who lives and dies. Like, it's fucking...
It's a lot of like, I mean, like the Walking Dead television show. It's a lot of, like, not much to build up to really big moments.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's just, you know, it's getting to know everyone, getting to know what they like, what they don't like, whether you like them or you don't like them. You know, you're just kind of taking it easy, making sure everyone's okay, making sure we have an exit plan, and fuck, we need our exit plan now.
Yeah.
Like, let's go again. Let's go. Who do you like? Who do you like again? Who don't you like? Like, who's most useful? What's your escape plan? Hope you remember it all. Go.
Yeah.
And then it's like, now we're bummed out because not everything works.
Because everyone died.
And I liked some people. I didn't like others, and things didn't go the way I wanted for those people.
And the people I didn't like are alive, and the people who I did like are dead.
Yeah. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
But it's a slow build to like
really quick,
impactful moment. A cliff.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Like, the thing is, it needs it because it makes those moments so much more amazing. And if I had a game where I was constantly under that much stress, I would have, like, fucking clinical anxiety. Like, that shit would just be too much. But no, I really enjoyed that. And it's quite an adrift from... kind of like what I was saying before about wanting to get away from just multiplayer Twitch Reflex games and experiencing a game and making a game make me feel something, like, apart from just seething rage from my unimpactful teammates.
There's one that I want to check out actually. That's kind of like that, sort of like a visual exploration called Come Home or Come Home or Gone Home. That's what it's called. Another little indie title. Haven't checked it out yet, but you essentially, I haven't even looked at it. I've only read the blurb. But it essentially says you come home from a year abroad, you get home expecting your family to be there, and no one's home. Also, something's happened in this house. Not everything is as it seems, so you gotta, like, you know, pick stuff up, and, like, it's got a really interesting looking, like, interaction looking thing where you pick a thing up, and then you can press a button while you're picking it up to, like, rotate it around, and like investigate each angle
bit
of
of
it.
Noir-esque.
Yeah.
What's this mug like?
Yeah, exactly. There's a note written on there. I'll
Gee
keep that in
whiz,
mind
this
for
beer
later.
bottle looks like all the beer bottles I've looked at today.
Yeah,
Better spin it around, 1080.
Yeah. So that looks interesting, but
circumstantial. Put it down.
yeah. Or in this case, fish sticks. Chuck them in the microwave. Turn the microwave on. Yeah, so
That's
it looks
pretty fun.
interesting. Yeah. So
Is
that'll be
that
fun to check out.
slated to come out, or is it out already?
No, it's out.
Okay.
It's out now. It was a freebie on
Cool.
Xbox Live Arcade.
I like the idea that you come home, everyone seems to be dead.
And you're like, oh,
And
and
you're
make some fish sticks.
What's on television?
I'm feeling pretty hungry. Oh, my favourite.
I need 7.5 fish sticks. Qantas is the best.
So yeah, I guess, okay, well, looking forward to next week then. I'm probably going to check out Gone Home as my indie pick of the potential next week. Plus bumming around with some of the other games I've found, I guess, I don't know. I also want to check out, what was it? Talk amongst yourselves while I figure it out.
Me personally, I'll probably continue hating myself and play AAA titles for the sake of entertainment. I'm looking at Destiny 2. Now, okay, don't get me wrong, I went into detail in the first episode, but I am looking forward to playing Destiny 2 with my friends on PC. However, if it's a shit game, I'm probably not going to play it. So I picked it up on PlayStation 4. I'm going to feel the guts of it. Probably not going to play too much so I can have a pretty traditional organic experience on it. But yeah, that'll be what I'll be playing. I'll probably get back to you guys more on how Nier Automata's going. And yeah, just continue to do that sort of stuff. I think we'll do a pre-BlizzCon show will either be next week or the week after. We'll figure that out. But yeah, Ed, what are you going to play this week, do you think?
Whatever's on sale.
Yeah, me too.
Whatever's on sale, and if my hard drive wasn't currently messed up, I'd play Shadow of War.
Cool.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that will have to be looked into, and perhaps some repairs will need to be made.
Yep.
But otherwise, I'll play some, Lord of the Rings Shadow of War.
Woohoo.
Cool.
Well, this has been the PALcast. Thanks, everyone.
Wonderful.
I guess we'll hear from you never, because we're the ones talking at you.
We're not really from Al-Qaeda.
Are we?
We're not.
Oh, no, we're not.
I am.
Bin Laden, what did we tell you?